So yeah, hi. We are doing just some commissions today. I'll start off with the sketches, because I don't do sketches here as often, but I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. So we'll do the sketches for another talking avatar commission. You might have seen the one that was like a version of Link. This is the person who's commissioning me himself. Is the basis of the talking character. So yeah, just gonna make this a sketching pencil, and I'll start working on some poses. I have my references up here, but I'll try to make this a streamlined process where I'll have pieces ready that I can pose and kind of reuse bits of line work later for many different poses, because it's a bunch of poses, this one. Let me see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 poses. So that's a lot, and they're bound to have plenty in common. So the idea is just having an outline of a head, and probably some other bits. It's not very easy to make like an articulated little model, because it's going to be wearing a t-shirt. But I can have reusable hands that I then only modify to the extent that they need to be modified, so I don't have to start from the beginning with hands that are just a bit different. I'm drawing it tiny at first because I always do this with overall poses. I find it easier to see if a piece is balanced, like adjust it by just doing it really tiny at first. This time, instead of a game soundtrack, I have an anime soundtrack. These are songs from Ranma 1/2, which I assume is also safe and probably not in the bot. Really, the only problem I've had thus far was with like Chillwave compilation that I used once. One of the songs was apparently copyrighted, but the only thing that caught it was the YouTube bot when I saved it over there. Yo, been hoping you'd stream all day. Hey, what's up? Yeah, this is usually around the time that I get to stream. But yeah, always nice to have you. What's going on? I'm not that far from getting to your next commission, I think, but there's still a couple, and this one's pretty long. It's 10 poses of a talking avatar, kind of like the Link one. I'm thinking of having his hands around his waist for the neutral position. I might look up some references for hands on waist, because now I'm having a bit of a... Never mind, just made a Twitter for... I think it's never mind, I'm not sure. Just made a Twitter for Kabocha and her stuff. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to look up some references. Oh, sorry. NVM is never mind. NM is not much. Oh, okay. Not that knowledgeable about what are those called? Shortenings, I guess. Okay, so I was looking at hands on waist references, and most people have like a normal consistent way, and then there's this girl who's just completely... Nicholas Andres now following. Hey, thanks for the follow. Sorry, Nicholas Quadro. What's up? Are you... That could be Portuguese or Spanish, so I'm not sure how to read it. So yeah, this girl has like the Josuke post. What's up, Nicholas? See here. Like she's basically doing this. So yeah, not really how most people put their hands on their waist, but there are some better references here. Okay. So yeah, I was doing it kind of low. I'll try to move from the tiny version pretty fast, because I know this isn't like the best thing for streaming, because it's kind of tiny for you guys. So just get the basics here. It's usually like one finger, then the others. Yeah, I'll just scale this up already. Portuguese, okay, cool. Did you like commission something recently? I feel like there was a Nicholas. But I'm not that great at remembering usernames. So I was wondering, would it be helpful to let you know when the current task message is inaccurate? Would that be nice? Current task? Oh no, please do let me know, because I always forget. I always forget that's a thing when I'm starting. Talking avatar commission. Oh, I also fixed the thing where it was all lowercase before. Yeah, I was wondering because you say you always forget. Yeah, I haven't like gotten it into my head yet that that's one of the things I have to check when I am logging in. I have to kind of decide what kind of proportions I want, if I want to make it more cartoony. Get my references back up. Thanks, I'll update you if I notice it in the future. Yeah, feel free to. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not good at that. Right now I'm just kind of doodling pretty blindly, just trying to see what I feel like works or doesn't. Because I don't even have a set style for this one yet. Like how much anatomy should there be, all that kind of stuff. This won't be shaded. This is a color sketch tier commission. It won't really be shaded, so I get any volume that I want to set has to be done through line work. And like the first piece that I do kind of binds me to having a version of those lines in every one of them, you know, as I pose it. So I'm just kind of experimenting around with it. My computer's going crazy with sound. I think I need to clean the fans. Hope it's not too loud for you guys, and noise reduction basically takes care of it. It just will start every once in a while. He also has a big logo on his shirt, which is like his logo. So I need to have nothing like interfere with it too much, so it's readable all the time. I'm on my phone, so I don't think it's too annoying. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, hopefully it isn't for anybody. It's also raining here, which would probably list here sooner than the computer fan. Hi, what's up? Drawing some commissions. What you doing? This is my IRL friend. By the way, if you wanna join on Discord, I don't know what you're doing right now, but if you're like doing some kind of boring task or playing a game or something, you can join on Discord and we'll talk through audio. Still have to test out that function, but I'm pretty sure it would work. Thinking how big I'm gonna make this guy's head, I just use the transform tool to kind of experiment around. Alright, gonna make another cup of coffee first. Sure, take your time. Kinda want a cup of coffee myself. Although, no, I have decided to not have coffee this late. If I have anything, I'll make some tea. Cause later I just don't sleep properly. Alright, so now we're going to figure out how cartoony his head is going to be. So yeah, I guess this will be the first stream with a guest that we'll ever do. I mentioned a while ago that I gave some of my real life friends a backdoor into the... What time is it for you right now? It's 12 minutes to 6 p.m. It's not very late at all, but I've just been having some trouble sleeping, and caffeine actually makes some effect in like making you worse at falling asleep for a pretty long time. Like it kind of gradually gets out of your system, even if you're not feeling it at all anymore, and like the making you not feel tired. Like you can still be tired but still have a harder time falling asleep, you know. So yeah, it's too bad because I really enjoy just having something to drink, and my favorite thing to drink is black coffee. I should try decaffeinated coffee. I don't know if it tastes much different, because I just like bitter drinks. What about tea? Yeah, tea. If I have something, it'll probably be tea, because it has a lot less caffeine, even the ones that do, and some have none at all. I learned recently that green tea has a completely negligible amount of caffeine. I thought it had some caffeine, like that it would make an effect, but it's basically nothing. So I can have green tea, which is still kind of more on the bitter side, which is nice. I won't have black tea because that does have some caffeine. Yeah, even though I like it more, I'll try to not. But yeah, tea's kinda the go-to thing now. Yeah, I really like bitter stuff, and these arms are really weird. What about you guys? Do you have a drink of choice to have like on the computer while you work or play games or anything like that? By the way, I finally played games again. I actually took some time off this weekend and I played some Hollow Knight. I started a new save on Hollow Knight because we were listening to the soundtrack so much and talking about it so much that I just felt like playing it. So I started a new, just my second game of Hollow Knight. I'm not doing anything like, I'm not going for like a fast run or anything. I'm just doing a second casual playthrough. I don't really want to like study into it or anything, and I don't remember the map like at all. Like I remember some of the basic areas, but I don't remember like progression, like my way around stuff. And the map's so big, like compared to like a Metroid game where you can internalize the map pretty easily. Like if you get 100% of the items, you'll probably like come back and just know the map. Hollow Knight is really big and it's pretty complicated. You don't remember which doors you open like from the other side, so if you were walking around after having opened the door, you can like a second playthrough you won't remember that you can just go through there. It's pretty tough to remember, so I'm basically just doing a second casual playthrough. I'm honestly a big water person, but I love tea. I often just forget I have any yet. I also always have water next to me when I'm working, and I do drink a lot of water every day. But I like also having like a warm thing, especially on winter, which it is now. It's always nice. Oh, I forgot to check something. Alright. So this arm is just completely not matching the other. But yeah, I want more bitter drinks. There are not enough bitter drinks in the world. There's way too many sweet drinks. I like the convenience of... It's winter in Brazil, yeah. It's winter in the southern hemisphere. And Brazil is almost entirely in the southern hemisphere, and the parts, the very tiny slice of it that isn't, it's so close to the equator to the point where there are no seasons. It's just basically always summer. So yeah, I'm kind of in the only part of Brazil that even has seasons, because when you're close to the equator it's basically just warm all the time. I'm jealous, winter's my favorite season. Yeah, I do really like winter, especially because it doesn't get that cold here. So winter is just nice. Like worst case scenario, you have to wear a lot of layers, but it's always nice because, you know, if it's cold, you get to like cuddle with some blankets or have a heater, and there's like a comforting feeling. While when it's super hot, you basically just have to use a lot of energy with an air conditioner, because otherwise you're just sweaty and miserable. I'm still really uncomfortable with this pose that I chose. I don't like how it's looking. But yeah, oh yeah, and I also started, basically just played the tutorial for, what's it called? Titanfall? Titanfall 2? Olá. Oi? Oh no, I'm getting raided by Orlek. What's up, Orlek? I'm not sure my friend just logged into Discord.
Yeah, I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Okay, my microphone is kind of...
Yeah, I just heard a little bit, and then what's up? Aka.
Hello.
Hi. You joined right when we were getting a raid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. Ah, you know where the raid is. You've been
Yeah,
on my raids. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So what's
I'm
up?
familiar with it.
Yeah, I mentioned a while back that I gave a few of my real life friends a backdoor into the stream, and we're getting joined by my friends right now. What's up?
Hi. Welcome. Rating. I don't know.
So what are you doing right now?
I just arrived at my PC, actually.
Oh.
I was at my girlfriend's.
Oh. So yeah, you can just leave it on and, you know, talk while you do your thing. If you want to do other stuff, play games or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm drawing. Oh, let me show you a really silly thing that you did. Oh, hi, Alec. Hello. Let me show you a thing. Let me check the stream. Bada bing, bada boom. I made a thing for the stream real quick. Let me show up here.
I'm loving the background. The new background.
Thanks. Yeah, you see those little dolls? Those are
Yeah.
they're for subscribers. Whoever is like currently subscribed gets a little doll in the layout.
Oh.
So there's kind of an incentive. So here's a silly thing that I did. You have these worker bots, which are basically the mascot of the stream, and I did a little hack of the NES version of Burger Time, which is another arcade game, where you play as a little worker bot.
Oh.
and I just changed everything to be from being food themed to be. Oops! I just died because I wasn't looking at the screen. From being food themed to being kind of mechanical themed, and yeah, I wanted to set it as like a reward, or like if you look at sound, like if you scroll down the stream, there are sounds that you can buy with bits. Or if you click on channel points, there should be sounds you can buy with channel points. So one of them that I made was redeeming for me to play this game a little bit. Decided to make a thing. I thought, oh, a gift. That wolf is again gifting a sub. So many subs. Thank you so much, and welcome to Arca.
Yeah.
Welcome to joining the stream. I am going to open the dolls thing here real quick because I need to make. Oh, is it not in the recent files anymore? I'll have to dig it up. I need to make a note of you. Because now you have a right to have a doll for this month. Oh, here's the dolls file. This is the last one that I made.
Pretty nice.
Thanks.
Pretty cool stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, I try to give it more of an incentive. So yeah, Arca, since you're in chat, if you like think, or like you don't need to think of it right now, you can do it whenever you're in chat. You can tell me what you want your doll to be, and I'll try to make a doll as soon as possible. The doll stays up as long as your subscription lasts. So, at least a month. It's all just an evil ploy to make Jeremy draw more dolls. Yeah. I still have some dolls to draw. There's some people who haven't logged on since I started it. And there was like a gift sub to someone who wasn't even on, I think. Or just never spoke up during that stream. So there are a few dolls to do. There's also my girlfriend who has like kind of a permanent subscription because she has like the Amazon thing. So she's just going to always be subscribed.
So, which is hers?
So yeah, she hasn't decided yet.
Ah, okay, she didn't. do it.
So that's another one I have left to make. So yeah. I was talking about how I'm playing Hollow Knight again. Have I made you play Hollow Knight yet?
No, you talked me into it, but I haven't succeeded yet. I guess I bought it. I don't know. I'm checking.
Maybe you bought it on promotion or something.
Yeah, because I was wanting it for a while.
Got Amazon Prime. That does mean I'll have permanent subscription. It says going to end September 30th. Maybe renews. Or I can renew for free. Yeah, basically because you have Amazon Prime, I think that's the same thing my girlfriend has. You will get a free subscription every month, so you just have to renew it every month.
Yeah, you just choose whose channel you want to subscribe into.
Yeah, I don't know if you can like make it so it happens automatically. I think she would just resub every month. But yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you can switch whenever you want, like who you subscribed to. But if you want to like keep your doll, you can just your Amazon thing is enough to keep your doll indefinitely.
I don't have Hollow Knight yet. No.
No. So yeah, Hollow Knight is so good.
I want to play it.
Like it's probably the best Metroidvania game. Like I still like Super Metroid best because it's like personally, I'm attached to it. But it's probably better. It's really good.
That's a big
Yeah.
shoes to fit in. But if you were saying that,
Yeah.
from all people,
Yeah, I think it's about as high praise as you can give saying I think this game is probably better than my favorite game.
yeah, that's it.
In its own genre. So,
This guy showed me the game and actually sold me the game. So
Uh,
Super Metroid.
yeah, I sold him my copy of Super Metroid from when I was a kid because I sold him a Super Nintendo to buy like newer games. So I had the games and I sold him Super Metroid.
And I still have it.
Yeah.
Actually.
For basically no money. Because that's how it always is with games. Like, if you sell them right after when they were new, like in the next console generation, they're worth nothing. But if you wait sometimes, they'll probably like be more expensive later because
Yeah.
they start getting rare or whatever.
But making it last in our climate, this is super humid and
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard stuff. It's hard stuff.
that's a bit of a problem. We live in an obnoxiously humid town.
Yeah.
Everything is just always moldy immediately. Like I put a lot of game stuff away because I just didn't want to like waste room with my CRT anymore. So I had like the Wii and the N64 and the PS1 and all that. I just put it all in a box, but I put it all in a plastic box and taped the crap out of it from the outside. Like I'm trying to have it not go moldy. this time.
Yeah. I know. I know the feeling. I was going to say it's almost always like 100%. I checked the humidity today, and it's 99%
Yeah.
today, right now.
That's
99%.
terrible. When I travel, I'm always like shocked that you come out of the shower and you just become dry over time.
Yeah,
In other places, there's a very foreign notion for us. Like you have to rip every like molecule of water out of your body with a towel or something. You don't just dry naturally here.
No, you sweat
Yeah.
in shower.
Yeah.
You're still showering. You're already sweating.
It's not a good point of living here.
I like it here, but yeah, it's too much. It's too much. It enhances everything. Like the winter
Oh
is
yeah,
colder, the summer is hotter. There you go.
yeah. It just makes you feel anything more. Oh,
Yeah.
humidity is also bad for smells. Like when it's really humid and like you walk past a trash can, like the smell just lingers everywhere and becomes way more gross.
Yeah. Because of the water.
Yeah, I think it like, yeah, the water absorbs the smell or something. I don't know. It just stays around forever.
Yeah, there's like a cloud of stinky water in you.
That's great. Yeah, it's like being in the same room as a trash bag is way less gross than being in the same pool as a trash bag, basically.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the basic idea.
Yeah, so yeah. It's humidity for you.
This is Rama 1/2 music beat, by the way.
I can't hear the music.
Right.
Yeah, I decided not to hear the
Yeah, if you had the stream on, there would be like terrible echo because
yeah, double
there's a
double
huge
Guilherme.
there's a huge delay, and also you'd be hearing your own voice back
Oh yeah, that would be
through the stream,
no.
and it would be like one of those voice jammer things where you have you seen those? That was
No.
kind of a thing like that people were doing on YouTube a few years back. Basically, it's just headphones that like really seal the sound, so you're only hearing what's coming from from the headphones, and they play your own voice back at you with a slight delay, like a second delay. um, and that makes it basically impossible to speak because you regulate your speech based on what you're hearing from yourself.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, I didn't heard of that thing specifically. This is a thing that happens because I'm recording, right, like vocals and such,
Uh-huh.
and I was trying to use headphones and use the return.
Uh,
It's return, right?
yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
the
feedback. Yeah,
technical
the
term.
feedback thing that I can hear my own voice through the headphones,
Yeah.
like with almost without delay, without delay basically. But most people do actually, and I didn't know it until recently. Have to take one one of the sides of the headphone away from my ear so I can hear my voice naturally too. So like
Uh-huh.
it's more natural, yeah. So I can actually, even if I hear my voice through the feedback, it's weird. It's not the same thing, you know. I have to take one ear away to hear it normally.
Yeah,
Also,
it must be like super minuscule delay that's
no,
like,
yeah. I have to have an interface, an audio interface, an external.
even if
thing.
it is like all analog, there's still going
it
to be
has
like
to be
a tiny amount of delay.
Yeah, but not only because of the delay, but because of the audio quality, it makes your voice different. So you can't. Yeah. You have to like get the mix of the outer voice and the voice coming back. It's things. Yeah, but essentially, I'm saying that it really affects our perception. And if you can't hear anything, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
You can't speak.
Yeah, the people, you end up like repeating the last syllable of what you're saying again because you can't keep track. Like when we're speaking, we're not like manually thinking like all the syllables that a word has and then like methodically making those sounds. We're kind of guiding ourselves by what we're hearing. So if you end a sentence and you're hearing the last, like the second to last syllable, you're not like in real time able to notice, no, I already said the last syllable, I shouldn't say it, you just say it again. And there's a really old, like ancient YouTube video from Brazil of a woman giving an interview where she sounds insane, and I'm pretty sure that's what was happening. Do you remember like sanduíche, ishi?
Yeah. That's it.
I think that's what was happening because she was on TV. She probably had a faulty earpiece that was giving her a delayed version of her own sound. Like she was probably meant to have an earpiece so she could like hear other people telling her stuff, but it was probably getting her own audio kind of feedback. It was going to like the booth and then back at her when she was supposed to be hearing the booth, and so she sounded like she was having a stroke.
Yeah, she was talking about food, I guess, and then she was talking about sandwiches. But she was repeating the last syllable over and over again. That around the bottom. So, yeah, that could explain it actually. Poor woman. I guess she was a nutritionist.
Was she? I don't remember. It's such an old video that I kind of thought she was like a reporter or something, but I might be completely off about that.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess she was. Anyway.
That's very, very old YouTube. Sometimes I want to talk about memes.
Yeah, she was a nutritionist.
Oh, she was a nutritionist. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to talk about like Brazilian memes here, but you can't really like make it interesting because if you don't.
Yeah, you can't explain.
Yeah, you can't explain the jokes. You can't translate jokes. It just doesn't work.
The Nazaré joke, the Nazaré meme actually became international. The calculus.
Yeah.
Space.
Yeah, that's the woman. You know the woman when you're thinking and you have a meme. There's like a woman looking like this, like
Yeah,
she's
she's
kind
a
of
great
this.
actor and person.
Yeah,
She's Brazilian.
like she's kind of
She's,
shaking, kind of looking in a bunch of different
yeah.
directions, like a serious face, and there's like math going to the front of her head. Yeah, that's a Brazilian actress. Also, Ricardo.
Ricardo Mills is
Ricardo
Brazilian. Yeah.
Milos is Brazilian. That's the dude that like. I thought it was interesting. Thanks. Yeah, but we were like getting super at length at it, or like explaining the joke because that can like doesn't work. And you also can quote them because you can really translate stuff. And so much about memes is like the way things are phrased that is funny. So sometimes it doesn't work. Like if you translated it, it would be like, okay, that's just a sentence. What are you talking about? You know, you wouldn't have the punch. But yeah, Ricardo Milos is that dude with like the bandana and the tongue that's just kind of dancing with a big old smile. And yeah, he's also like Brazilian. So
I have to contain my urge to sing the song, the classic song from the thing, because it may be copyrighted, right? So,
yeah, well, if you sing it so
training my own.
if you sing it so perfectly that the bots recognize it as the trademarked song, then it could be a problem. Otherwise, it's probably fine. I don't want to question your mad singing skills, but like
Mad singing.
it would literally have to sound like the
instruments.
audio, yeah, the audio of the full music track. So I'm not sure how great it is. I'm not sure if it's from Brazil, but I know Sirifa de Barra. What is that?
That's certainly Portuguese.
Yeah.
The language Portuguese, but
I don't really remember.
I know this. Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it is Brazilian. Yeah.
Is it like an actual crab, like lifting?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And someone describing it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one, but yeah, cool. Another Brazilian meme. There's also like the "Please come to Brazil" meme that has become like an international thing. Like that people associate with Brazil. Like people in Brazil, like anytime near the last decade, like if people are saying that, they are saying that as a meme, right? Like it used to be said a lot, but now we make a meme of ourselves, and like we like doing it.
But normally Brazilian fans actually would be happy if those people came to Brazil.
Bro. But sometimes they do it ironically. It's almost it can be kind of mean sometimes because sometimes it's one of those people on the internet that like is really bad at something and doesn't realize it, and become kind of a local thing. Sometimes they do that to those people, and I think that's kind of mean.
Yeah. Brazil do that with a lot of Brazilian people. So
please come to Brazil.
No. But hyping them.
Yeah.
Hyping
people as like a pseudo, like an anti-celebrity kind of thing. Yeah. I thought it would be pretty funny to tell a Brazilian person to please come to Brazil.
Yeah, it would be. Maybe they do. I don't know. There is a RuPaul's. And it's actually good. I actually like it.
A RuPaul what?
A
RuPaul what? Oh, I think you dropped out for a second.
Oh yeah? RuPaul's drag queen, that went to the show, and she made a track called "Come to Brazil."
Oh, cool.
It's fun.
Oh, nice.
It's actually good. Actually.
Did she have any kind of connection to Brazil, or was she just?
She likes the fans. It was a joke. She was. It was kind of a joke, but it was like a Brazilian-esque song.
Mm-hmm.
Just an ode to the meme and Brazil.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm settled on basically the style. I know I spent a lot of time on this one, but I'm kinda just choosing the style that I'm going to go with, and like how I was going to cartoonify his face.
This is a
Like
commission.
this is a real guy. Yeah, he's like a talking avatar commission.
Ah, nice.
I wonder if I should make his beard more simplified. I think I will. I think I'll transition now from the sketchy to the pen version. Not really the pen because this is just supposed to be a sketch, but like this sketch is really dirty. I'm going to make a less dirty one. Yeah, not that kind of dirty.
No. I'm not laughing because you said dirty. I'm laughing because I don't think it's dirty.
Yeah,
No, no.
it's kind of messy, and also it would be a pain to make the other ones all have the same texture because this is like a billion lines.
Mhm.
Now that I have the base, it's a lot easier to do something that has a lot less lines because I'll have to
Yeah.
do 10 poses for this guy.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm going to start doing those.
I guess I'll create things for for our RPG while we talk.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I have to level up. Tomorrow I'll level up my character.
Nobody will have leveled up.
My character is super easy to level up. Like, I
Yeah.
have two D&D characters going on right now. One of them is a sorcerer, and the other is what's going on? Photoshop's all kind of glitched out. It was like partially transparent. Photoshop. Anyway, I had two characters. One's a sorcerer, and one is a monk. And the difference in time that it takes to like level up one versus the other is comical. Because
And for
sorcerers, like you learn a bunch of spells that you like commit indefinitely to them, and they are like the few spells that you'll be able to use. So you have to think so much about your build and what you're choosing, and there are like infinite arcane spells to choose from.
and we play 3.5, so there's a lot of spells and feats and such.
And like there's just so much to think about, and I'm like the only. Now there's a bard as well, and she's starting to like gain because she was lower level. She joined later, so now I'm not like fully like the only caster, but I used to be the only caster. It took so long to like plan out stuff.
Uh,
The only
I'm
like
a cleric,
yeah
so
yeah
I'm kind of a caster.
yeah the only like arcane caster. Yeah, it's just since you're a cleric, like you have like all the spells forever. You can just like look
Yeah.
them up at the time.
I
You
have to choose them each morning
yeah. So
at 5. So that's easier because I can access them wherever. I can just, I made a mistake. Tomorrow I fix. That's it. That's. I don't have access to everything though. You have access to it, so that there's this advantage. And for you guys, I'm the DM for the game where he's a monk. So,
yeah. So yeah, like the monk's so easy, like it's so brute force. I basically, when I created him, I had him planned out all the way to level 6. I just had to like put a check mark next to the feats and stuff that he now had. Like he was basically already leveled up. I just had to like roll, for roll HP and like spend the 3 skill points, no, like 5 skill points that I already knew like what I was going to put them on because there are a few things that he uses. So it was really mindless compared to the sorcerer. Speaking of like, I was going back like 3 subjects, but like listening to your own voice. When I started doing this and like when I activated VODs, which is like video on demand, is when your older videos, like your streams, get archived. and listening more to my own voice talking, I realize I have so much more of an accent, like
Then you think, yeah, yeah, yeah.
than I
Then you
hear
think,
in my own head.
yeah,
Like I can tell that I have an accent, but it's way thicker than it sounds to me when I'm speaking.
yeah, everything is a little bit different when I hear it before, after. Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah. Uh, uh, I I participated in a, how can I say it, in an improv group through Discord,
oh
like in
no.
English and such. Yeah, yeah. No, I wanted to.
Uh, was it
Aw.
so an international thing?
Yeah, and
cool.
then it was recorded, and then I also heard my own accent.
Uh, yeah, now you have this. Your accent is really delightful, though. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I hope it's like a kind of fun to listen to accent and not like a difficult to make out accent. Um,
For me, it's okay, but I'm also Brazilian, so I have
yeah.
a big bias. Yeah.
Yeah, and like my mother doesn't speak English like as well as we do. Like she basically understands it, she's really not comfortable speaking it.
Mhm.
And she understands it a lot better when it's someone with an accent, like any accent.
Yeah, yeah. I also find really clear to understand most Brazilian people speaking, and I'm not sure how much is it because I have kind of the same accent, or because it's actually really clear. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think like we speak in the phonemes that we are trained to understand and pick up on.
Yeah, maybe we
So
over accentuate them. Maybe no.
yeah, and like for other people with accents in general, it'd be like more understandable. I think it's because yeah, you when you learn a language as a second language, you kind of learn all the little sounds and you enunciate every little thing. While when you're speaking it just as your language, you pick it up in a more organic way and you kind of just merge a lot of sounds together. You speak faster, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there are a lot of English mistakes that English speakers make that a non-English speaker would never make because
Yeah, some of them I found like funny to discover them they exist, but it makes sense if you think how many mistakes we do in Portuguese. And
yeah,
people do.
and because they're very phonetically based, like if you learn the
Yeah.
words like in theory and what their grammatical function is, you will
Yep.
make those mistakes. Like I try to think there's something where they use of in a completely wrong place. I'm not really remembering right now.
The first thing it came to my mind when we were saying those things was
Mhm.
like there and it's and such. Like
Oh, using the using
yeah,
their like their
possessive and they are
and
and they.
their like the possessive and they are yeah it's
Yeah.
pretty simple.
We as English students, not English speakers naturally,
Uh,
never would make this
yeah so
mistake because we were taught very separate.
yeah we learned in a very theoretical level so
Yeah.
although I've made like a typing mistake once and then I actually reposted it recently where I put an apostrophe on possessive it's.
But I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm going to say about you, but you make some mistakes writing Portuguese too. So I guess it's
Yeah.
like the same level. So it may be not you with English, but just writing and maybe not paying attention or something.
Yeah, I will say no. I make a ton of orthographical mistakes, both
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Portuguese and in English. I'm terrible with orthography. I just can't like automatize it. Even if I know something, like if I stop and read again, I will notice most of them. But when I'm
Yeah, you
typing
know
it
it,
out,
but,
it just comes out completely wrong. I don't know what my problem is. I
I know
don't
you
do
know how to write those stuff, but you do
Yeah.
write them wrong sometimes,
and I do that
it's
in
funny.
English a lot as well. But
Yeah, but the
I
same level.
almost never make grammatical errors, and that's a grammatical error that I made. I didn't, but I'm pretty sure. Like I'm sure, like I've never made a mistake. I'm pretty sure, and there was like an it earlier in that sentence. I'm pretty sure at some point, like one, got substituted for the other, and I messed up in like assembling the sentence onto the image because it was it was like the speech bubble in one of the Metroid comic covers. And there's like two lines, and they both start with "it's," but it's the difference "it's." And the first one is supposed to have an apostrophe and does, and then the second isn't, and it still does.
So it's maybe because you just wrote the other one and you
I'm pretty sure it was like in assembling it. Like I thought it was one when I was doing the other, because I usually don't make grammatical mistakes, and that's a grammatical mistake and a pretty simple one. Although I don't even like know like the backstory of the apostrophe, like why most possessives have it, but like these kinds of possessives don't, because like usually possessives are the most common place to have apostrophe s, but in the case of it's the one that doesn't have apostrophe s that is possessive. Like it's
I
possessive.
know the difference, but I don't remember enough to explain it.
Yeah, I don't.
I guess I know the difference, but I don't know how to.
Like,
to say it.
I have it memorized. Like I know which one is this. Like that it is.
You know how to use it.
Yeah.
You know how to use it.
That it is uses an apostrophe, but its possessive doesn't. Even though a lot of other possessive stuff does.
But like it's without apostrophe is like the same as their, like the second their.
Yeah. Which also doesn't. Which also doesn't have an apostrophe.
Those don't.
Yeah.
Those don't have an apostrophe.
Yeah, but I don't know why.
I don't know why. Because it's like it's a different thing, you know. It's a noun, I guess. No. I don't know enough of the technical things of grammar.
Yeah, I just know like the usage. Let me read a message here. A problem with American English learning is when you're little, the teacher will explain what a predicate is to you one time. When you're young, and she will always use the word predicate, expecting you to know what it means. Even the definition she used was obtuse.
It also happens in Portuguese. Like,
I can kind of relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like grammar language in schools. They do focus a lot on the technicality of the grammar and such, and sometimes it don't fix because it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of heavy stuff. But yeah, I don't know the name of the thing I was trying to say right now because it's a lot of heavy stuff. I don't know it in Portuguese also. I don't remember. Like, the grammar functions of every single word I say.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
Like in Portuguese we call it the grammatical class of the word, but I don't know if that's the direct translation to English.
I'm not sure. Let's call our English teacher friend.
Yeah. Google can always figure things out for us.
Who is the bird? Who is the bard? We actually talked about that right now.
Yeah. Are you going to ask why is it, or are you going to ask what the term
I was
is
saying
for
that if
grammatical
she was here, she could answer this.
Oh, she could like pop into the call. Yeah, sure. Yeah, if she wants to. Like,
probably work.
She's
probably
like a responsible person. Well, I'm technically working as well.
You mean the other work or this work?
No, this work, and I can't like do
Okay, okay.
two at once. The difference between there and there is the thought to me like second grade, but I don't really understand it until 12th. Yeah.
Yeah. I completely get it. I completely get it.
mm. Thing is, I don't know, like, when there is an apostrophe for possessive stuff, I don't know what's being contracted there, you know, because an apostrophe is a mark of a contraction that happened at some point in the evolution of the language, right? There used to be words that becomes one, so there is a contraction because it's they are.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's like a possessive, like his, what is this? What was here?
No, but this doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, that's his. That's his. If you say, yeah, I try to make it simple and make it made it
No, so
non-existent.
yeah,
When it's Mike's, what is here?
okay,
And-
one is a possessive.
Because there's an apostrophe. And why does it exist here but not in his and in what would the
Yeah,
other?
and the equivalent of Mike's for for there would be the there without the apostrophe. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I get your.
So it's weird, right? That you know you
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah.
apostrophe when it's like a proper noun.
But
Oh hey,
when it's
new follower. Thanks, Hosso. Is it Hosso? Feel free to like correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. We're just talking about grammar real quick while I draw this. So I'm making like the face pretty clean, but I'm going to be reusing it a bunch. So it's actually somewhat easier to just make this version clean, and then I can like adapt it for the future poses and stuff. And we can take a break from this sometime later. But I'm going to use the fact that it's a sketch to do hair stuff like this. That's like more loose, and I can make the beard look like this. Perfect. Now we'll do the ears real quick, and we can start going to the more agile stuff. Oh, and actually, I have to do this. I actually wasn't supposed. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I should just send him like the rough sketches before payment. This is the early part. It doesn't hurt to have this done, but I'm actually not supposed to. I'll just call this one the parts layer, and I'll get back to like making real simple versions, because this will be here anyway. Yeah, it's fine. I can finish this one. Hi Bloggin, what's up? So there's this thing. Now you see down here. You can really see the arrow. But down here we have those little doll things. Those are subscriber dolls. There's a thing that I invented now, where as long as you're subscribed, you have a little doll at the bottom of the screen. You can tell me what you want the doll to be. Oh, you've been watching the pod, cool, so you know about that. Feel free to tell me what you want your doll to be, and I'll make a note of it. That's super cool, thanks, glad you like it. So yeah, if you have an idea, you can tell me at any time, and I'll just make a note of it. And maybe we'll even, take a break from this at some point.
take a break.
And make your doll. Since the person who got the gifted sub hasn't told me yet what they would like the doll to be. So you'd be next. So yeah, we have our neutral pose. This hand doesn't make any sense, but I don't have to polish it this much. I was skipping steps. I had multiple ideas, but what I want to see the most is my Occitania, the first character I commissioned from you. Cool. I'll make, I think she'll make a good doll. I'll just make a note of it right away so I don't forget, but maybe we'll just drop by here. Lagenswag, Anya. There you go. Now we have a note. And alright, so this is the neutral pose. Now I'll make the other ones a lot quicker so I can just send it to him today, and then when I get the money I'll move on to the second part. I have other stuff to work on as well. Let me show you guys real quick another thing that I'm doing. Where is it? I changed the name of the file. Give me a second. Here it is. I'm doing little redesigns of F-Zero characters. Like I'm drawing them a little bit different. In a kind of simplified style. So I think I'll just post as these two today, but I already have ready Pico and Dr. Stewart to make later. So if I have like time extra, I'll just do that. Falcon and Goro, yeah. So I have them done. I'm going to do the original 4 first, and then I can just pick and choose between whichever ones I want to redesign. And I'll probably do a bit more radical redesigns for a bit of the minor characters, but for the more iconic ones, I did something a little bit more subtle. Haven't been able to watch live lately because my friend and I were staying up late with Dark Souls 3, but we've finished the game now. Oh cool, congratulations. But yeah, thanks for watching the VODs as well. I'm always surprised by how many people watch the VODs if it's not like if it's not like a good percentage of bots. Because like way more people watch the VODs than watch live. According
I do watch more VODs than lives, so I get it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. Because like with big streamers that make like elaborate content, like I get that, because there's not going to be like an interaction anyway. But with like art streamers that I follow, I usually just watch live. I just watch whoever is live, you know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's better, but maybe it's just watching VODs.
And I get that like a lot of people who follow me can't really watch the stream because of time, you know, it's not a time where they're available, so I'm like super appreciative that they still watch the VODs, because the alternative would be not watch at all.
Cat Wolf is working, he said.
I'm always worried I won't be able to watch live because I'll be working. Yeah, that was the she.
Sorry, she.
There's probably a thing like the defaulting to males. Probably a thing like in Portuguese, every noun has a gender, which is ridiculous.
Latin languages are really gendered. Like everything is gendered in our language. So.
Every word. So like, if you said the word wolf, you would use it in the masculine almost always.
Yeah. Wolf is
like the generic version of wolf is masculine, unless you like know the gender of the wolf and is making a point to like specify that it is female.
Specific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will say. And there's some like funny stuff. Like giraffe is always female, even if you're talking about a male giraffe. So if you say the phrase a male giraffe, like the every word
Yeah.
is still like in the female form because you're still
Yeah, there's no
referring.
giraffe. It's just giraffe.
Yeah.
Just female. It's always female.
There's just the female version and even like the female. So, but that happens a lot. Like person is female, so you can be talking about a man and use all like the related words that refer to the man will be in the female version.
Yeah, if you say person, then everything
Yeah.
becomes female. And character, normally people use it wrong, but character is a female word in Portuguese.
Yeah. The word that we use for character is supposed to be always female, but people usually flex it and like
Yeah.
when it's a man, they then use the related words in the male form.
Hmm.
I studied some German, and they have a lot of gender grammar too. Yeah, one really frustrating thing about German is like they have a neutral version. Like they have male, female, and neutral, but most things still are either male or female.
Hmm.
Like most objects and stuff like that are still male or female, even though they have a neutral version.
And in Portuguese, like the neutral normally is male, which is weird. But like if there are a bunch of male people and female people, the plural would be a male word, which is weird. But it's how.
Yeah, if there's like if everything in the group is gendered, like people, which are gendered, and like there's one male, then the plural will be all in the male flexion.
Yeah,
Even
there are the
only if it's exclusively female will
Yeah.
it be in the female version.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you don't know the genders, then it's male because back to neutral.
Yeah, usually as well. But it's kind of it's kind of
Yeah.
impossible to talk about a person whose gender you don't know without assuming their gender. You have to decide one or the other.
Yeah, you can like use the noun like person, and then
That's what I
use the
default
gender of the
to.
word person, which is female.
Yeah, that's what I default to. You have to like
Yeah.
plant the word person at the beginning of your sentence, so you can then like
Because we do have something that
refer to
there
it.
isn't in English, which is occult noun.
Yeah.
We can we use a phrase without a noun.
Yeah.
And
It's not as spooky as it sounds when you say it in English.
yeah,
The occult noun.
you have the occult noun. Yeah, but you have gender. It's because everything has to be gendered.
Yeah, even if the
Anyway,
yeah, because whenever like an adjective is assigned to that word or an article referring to it, to that object that you're talking about, then those have no neutral form, so you have to choose a gender.
there are social studies
Mhm.
relating it to like sexism and stuff, and I think makes sense. But yeah, it's how thing works. Anyway.
Kind of since we talk a lot about Metroid in this stream, the original Metroid manual didn't want to spoil Samus's gender. Like they wanted that to like be a surprise because the whole thing was a play on the fact that the audience would assume Samus was a man, and then you would only find out in the ending that she was a woman. So the Japanese manual talks about her with neutral grammar all the time because you don't really have to gender someone to talk about them in
Japanese.
Japanese. but especially at the time, like using they to talk about a singular person wasn't really normal in English yet.
Mhm.
So they kind of didn't have a way to do that, and so they defaulted to just lying and referring to her as him in the manual the whole time.
Aha. Aha. I thought we were going to say about some Portuguese translation. But,
No, there weren't back then.
No.
There was nothing in Portuguese in games back then. The occult noun just refers to the genders unknown representative.
love
There are occult spells, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, that's exactly it. No, it isn't.
Mhm.
I, what's the actual word? Okay, occult is not the word.
Yeah, but it
Hidden,
yeah,
hidden.
yeah, it just means hidden.
Hidden noun. Yeah,
Yeah.
occult is another thing because it's a false cognitive, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from like occult comes from
Yeah, 'cause-
hidden, you know, like because these things are like evil and secretive.
Yeah.
But in Portuguese, it doesn't have that kind of dark connotation. It just really means hidden.
And the occult in Portuguese is the same word for hidden. It's the same word
Y-
again. Like yeah.
Yeah.
We have another word for hidden actually.
Yeah. The
Yeah, we got a kick out of it.
yeah, that was good.
Actually, he was talking about the Samus thing, and I was already laughing about
Uh,
the Eldritch noun. Realize occults they don't have the same meaning. Yeah. False cognitive. I don't know if you are aware about people are aware about false cognitive without studying other languages.
is
But
that
it's,
is that? I wouldn't know if that was the term in English. Have you seen the term in
I
English?
guess it is. It has to be. It's cognitive.
Basically, it's two words that sound alike, so you
It is.
assume they have the same meaning, but they do not, because often like they are the same word, the same root, you know, but they just acquire different connotations in different languages.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting thing with because people are so exposed to English through media, like most young people know a little bit of English now.
Mhm.
There are a lot of words that were false cognitives are just acquiring the English meaning over time because they get used in the English way.
Yeah.
Stuff like bizarre or assume are used in the English sense of the word when they were actually a little bit different in usage. And
Bizarre is different.
bizarre didn't used to mean like strange in like a crazy way.
Oh.
Yeah, like really, like in older stuff, bizarre used to mean like elegant.
Oh.
And then it was like attention getting and stuff like that, but like the English bizarre kind of bled into our usage. And like assume, a lot of people now, it's basically a meaning of the word assume now. When you are presuming something,
Yeah, but
but
this one I know.
but in
Right.
Portuguese, assumir, which is like the common thing, it means to admit,
Admit, yeah.
but people now use it as to presume.
I didn't know it was at this level, but I already heard some people
I see it all the
saying
time nowadays.
using it, but correcting themselves easily.
Yeah, I don't even people like at this point I don't even like point it out anymore. I just figure that now people are using it because I'm very like usage oriented. Like there's no original correct language. If people start using something a different way, that's just what it means now.
Language, right?
I think sometimes it kind of sucks. I found out weird used to mean. Sorry, what? Used to mean. Oh, I don't know what W a bunch of asterisks are.
It
horror.
was supposed to be horror, I guess, but I guess.
I don't know. Sometimes I
calm
think
down.
it's a pity when words start meaning the same thing because like you kind of lose a word.
Yeah, she's speaking about a cult, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
like infer and imply, people using inferring as implying. Like, are you inferring that? When you mean are you implying? That like infer is a useful word. I would like for it to not be confusing when someone says infer,
Mm.
because you have to like figure out what they're talking about. There's other stuff like uninterested and disinterested. When people use disinterested as uninterested, but
But it
disinterested
is different.
means you don't have anything to gain or lose.
Disinterest.
Yeah, disinterested.
I don't have any interest. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, in Portuguese those are the same word, but in English they were like
Yeah.
they had two different
Yeah.
versions, which made a distinction there, and the distinction is kind of disappearing because people kind of use disinterested for both.
And those things make bigger valley between generations. Like they start to speak in different languages. Almost.
Oh, I got it. Like the Deadpool thing. I was using talk to text, but it
Mhm.
misheard. So they made to say horror, but it understood it as horror, and auto censored it.
Yeah. I thought that was what happened. I had, not the part about the.
Text to
But-
speech.
Yeah, I didn't say the word.
Yeah.
I thought.
I think it's fine.
Why did Twitch censored the first time, and when she write the actual things didn't censor it?
I think, yeah, that the Twitch. Maybe the text to speech has a function, and now she typed it.
Okay. It's not censored, but you actually wrote the right word. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, it was actually your phone. Your phone censored.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's like in the process of text to speech, but when she like typed it,
I'm
straight up,
I'm
it,
bad at
it
just
just
tech, so I'm not
Mhm.
used.
we need to teach old people about text to speech. I'm being like way too detailed again. I forgot again that I wasn't supposed to get super elaborate with stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
should have warned you, but I thought you were not. I don't know.
No, that-
I assumed
That's fair
You,
enough. Yeah, the correct.
you knew what you were doing. Like, so I thought no, not the same thing. You know, it is.
You assumed wrong. I never know what I'm doing. That's my secret. I am always an idiot.
That's
I remember you used to really hate that line from the Avengers. I don't know if you got that reference.
no, I do. No, I didn't. I didn't got it, and I do. I do hate it. I do use it as the example why I don't like the movie. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
I don't know.
Uh,
I'm fine. Like I literally don't care. I'm pretty neutral on.
I'm talking to
Yeah.
I know
to
you know
chat.
I don't like it.
Yeah, like I'm not like a fan, but I also don't have a problem with the Marvel movies.
I do not have a problem. Some people
Uh,
do, I guess.
I-
I just didn't like it the first time I watched. I didn't understand when
Yeah,
I closed
I-
my eyes. Everybody loved it.
Uh,
I loved it.
I actually, you guys hate Avengers. He hates Avengers. I'm pretty neutral on Avengers. Like the first one. I thought the second one was pretty bad. But
I
I-
get the second one. I do prefer than the first one because obviously worse. So I like it a little bit more. You know.
As a bad movie, yeah.
Yeah, it works as a bad movie, and I like Vision.
I didn't even think it was a good bad movie. I just thought it was a boring,
No,
boring movie.
I went to watch with my God. But the first one I watched with my mom. We downloaded it, and we both didn't like it. And my mom likes a lot of things. My mom not liking something like this. That's something. Yeah.
They liked 3 and 4. I thought 3 and 4 were fun. They are like dumb fun. They are like Lemmy action figures together.
I didn't. I didn't have your resolve, Dead Wolf. I didn't. No. I stopped that. I didn't have your resolve.
Like, I think one has good like moment. Like the character interactions are funny, but then it devolves into like mindless action and it's boring. And there is no plot to it, which is kind
Which
of
one?
the first one.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say no. That's the first one.
Then the second one's just kind of dreary and meh.
No, everyone in Brazil also likes it, but I was disconnected with the movement of people loving it, and then it was a huge thing and about it. So
it's,
it was weird.
it's probably the biggest like movie franchise ever, just in terms
I
of
felt
so
like,
many movies being successful. Because there's like
Yeah.
bigger than like Star Wars probably has a like higher average, but there are so many fewer movies.
It was happening. I wasn't aware about it, and then I feel like I'm a huge hipster when I say those things, but I actually was not seeing this happening. It happened, and it was like I was in a cave, but I wasn't. And maybe I was. Maybe my head is a cave.
Maybe we are all in a cave.
Ooh.
Anyway, I don't think I would, but I enjoyed 3 and 4. Yeah, they're silly, but they are always so like the lame thing about the first one, in my opinion, is there's this boring generic alien invasion, and they're fighting the aliens, and there's like no tension. Of course, none of the Avengers are going to like lose to the alien goons, right? So your brain just kind of falls asleep, and it takes like half an hour. But the new ones, like, they're built on a bunch of set pieces that are like kind of interesting, and they're kind of dumb, but they're like a more fun kind of dumb. My initial description is like the best I can give, that it's like action figures. It's a movie of like a convoluted bunch of action figures slamming against each other.
Yeah, it's a good description. For me, it's like Transformers with superheroes.
Yeah, no, it's not as bad as Transformers, but because it's not like actively racist all the time. But
Yeah.
Bruce Banner is always angry. He should always be the Hulk. I don't agree with that. Bruce Banner is always angry. He should
I do.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree exactly with that, but I think that is a huge plot hole because
No.
he could manage it because he's always angry. Why he couldn't manage it before?
Because he's learned how to like understand and channel his emotions. He still has anger, but he knows how to contain it and unleash it in a productive
he
way.
learned it at the heat of the battle, and
He learned it. He learned it between the movies.
No.
He's really good at controlling himself. Like, he only turns into the Hulk when he's like about to die in an airplane. Like, from the beginning of the movie, people were trying to irritate him, and he never turns into the Hulk.
But at the first,
like, Loki has to do like a whole plan in order to like get the Hulk desperate, and he still manages to hold it for a really long time until he bursts out, and then he uses it on purpose later.
No, at the first movie he burst out and attacked everyone on his team, and then at the middle of the war, at the first movie again, he says the phrase, I am always angry, I know how to control it. But it didn't like a few minutes ago.
No, but he always doesn't if he's in like a desperate situation. But it means that now he's able to like pull out the Hulk whenever he wanted, which in his movie he couldn't do it. He could only do it like automatically and lose control. And that's the thing about the Hulk. I don't know. I feel like maybe people who weren't familiar with the character, like he didn't communicate as well. There's the thing about the Hulk. Like in his origin story, he like becomes angry and turns into the Hulk, and he like can't control his anger and he's destructive and like basically a monster. But over time he learns how to channel his anger and like hold it whenever he can, and only when he's like put in a really bad situation and he's really angry does he turn it in the way where he loses control. Otherwise he's able to channel his anger and it becomes like a dumb violent thing, but he still manages to like have the focus that he wants and to channel his anger against the right people. And that's his evolution. At this point he's basically like becoming proper Hulk. That's the end of his origin story.
Yeah, but I don't think it gets in the movie this way. I think it's kind of plot hole. Yeah, I still think it. The way they do in the movie, the first movie, all the first movie.
I think like it's a really non-literal thing.
Yeah. I do think it is.
Yeah, like I also disagree with the thing that was said here. Like Angry Bruce equals Hulk. I don't think really like Bruce who let his anger come out equals Hulk. That's not quite the same thing. Like, because it's all emotional storytelling, right? Like all of comic book herodom is
I do appreciate.
is emotional logic, not literal logic, because of
I do
course, like it's
appreciate the
fantasy.
meaning. I do think still, uh, the thing that happens at the beginning and this scene, they are ridiculous. I don't know the word. They don't
Contradictory, no?
contradictory. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they really are contradictory.
Slip my. That would be. Yeah, but I do get your point. But I'm still with Deadwolf on this one.
Yeah. Oh, well. On the old Hulk movies, it was based on his pulse. The shoot didn't stick. I don't remember that. Was that on the Marvel one or the one that came out like 5 minutes before that, which wasn't part of the Marvel universe? Because I don't really remember. I didn't actually watch the other one because like the Marvel one is the one with the what's his face, the guy from Fight Club. But before that, there was another Hulk movie like 2 years before that was made by Universal.
No, I just watched the two Edward Norton ones.
There aren't two. There are two Edward.
There
Norton.
he is. The second one is in Brazil.
I'm pretty sure there's only one Edward Norton one. I think you watched two was in 2008 movie. It happens when his heart reaches. It wasn't MCU, yeah. The Universal one was directed by Ang Lee. Yeah. So yeah, the Pulse one was in the Marvel one. It was the one where Bruce looks like, where the Hulk looks like he's made out of plastic. That's pretty stupid. I didn't watch that movie, but yeah, making it based on his pose is pretty dumb. He could just run and turn into the Hulk. That'd be so funny. Or like his girlfriend says something romantic and he turns into the Hulk. That would be awesome. Yeah, it wasn't Edward Norton on that one. It's just one Edward Norton one. Chat's confirming it. You're insane.
I'm completely insane.
You're deranged. Sending you to Arkham Asylum.
But okay, the Edward Norton one is the one that has footage on Rio de Janeiro, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. That I didn't imagine.
but he was like 2 years after one that wasn't part of the MCU.
Okay, maybe I just didn't know the difference. I watched them both, and that's it. I
Yeah,
thought the one was a sequel to the other one.
yeah, makes sense. Like they also changed the Hulks when it was a sequel.
Yeah, I guess
uh, I know because I watched the movie a lot. I really liked it. Really, I didn't watch that one. Um, but yeah, I think some Marvel movies are good. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was really good. Um, I like Civil War. Civil War is also fun in that dumb action figure way, and but also like has some more decent motivation between the characters. Like it's a bit more of a personal story. It's not like bad guy want to destroy world. Um, what else? Spider-Man ones are cute.
I never watched the ones that were not with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, there were ones that people say are really bad that I also didn't watch with Andrew Garfield. But now there are new ones with I forget the name of the kid, but those are cute.
The Tom, no.
Is it Tom? I think it's something. Anyway, well, it's going to be the start of the MCU,
Holland.
but they reward the Edward Norton one, so only sequel-ish things about the two. Is the first one ends in Brazil and the second one starts in Brazil. Tom Holland, that's right. That's weird. I didn't know that. So it was going to be. It's weird because it's a different studio. So they were just going to like use a movie from a previous studio who owned the Hulk.
Yes, okay.
So
I was not
that's what made you
completely
confused.
safe. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure both of them have like the origin of the Hulk, but yeah.
Because I'm not a superhero person, so I watched it really passively, right?
Mm.
So yeah, like with my parents and such, and
Uh-huh.
we always saw it like a sequel, and that's it. Simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like and it's really weird to like release a new Hulk movie 2 years after the previous Hulk movie that isn't a sequel.
Yeah, it is.
Like, even Batman
I
and Spider-Man wait longer than that.
No choice. I'm catching up with the chat because
The
I
other
lost.
Norton one was still done by Universal, that's why there haven't been solo Hulk film since. Oh really? It wasn't done by Marvel Studios yet. Didn't know that. I thought the canon ones were all Marvel Studios until Spider-Man. I'm being so inefficient today. Spider-Man didn't wait longer. There was Amazing Spider-Man 2014 in Civil War. Ah, but that's not a full-on new Spider-Man movie. That's just a cameo. But yeah, that is pretty fast. I also don't know how much time is between Batman Returns and Batman Forever.
Hmm.
That might have been also like a couple of years.
I also don't. I watched both of them. I don't know how many years after release. Maybe not so much, but I actually don't have any idea.
Yeah, I don't really know the dates of those movies at all.
I watched them on TV. Like I didn't know.
Yeah, I watched them on TV as a kid. Like I never went back to them or anything like that.
It wasn't
Because-
like, wow, it's on the cinema, nana.
Yeah, I remember not liking them. So even as a kid. So not really interested in
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah, I like some things about him, but yeah, like I didn't dislike things when I was younger, but I didn't like it that much. So the
I don't know, it's just I probably wouldn't have liked anything that was very different from Batman the Animated Series because that was like my favorite cartoon. And
oh yeah,
that was probably like my expectations of Batman, and then when they
yeah, you was set for failure.
uh,
You were set. No,
Yep.
it couldn't work.
Batman Returns and
Never.
Batman Forever are technically set in the same universe. Are they? Oh, okay. They just like changed everything about everything and the way everything looks. Batman the Animated Series is the best. Yeah, it's really great. And the best Batman movie is Mask of the Phantasm, which is the Batman Animated Series movie. My ranking for Batman movies is like Mask of the Phantasm, then Year One. Uh, then probably The Dark Knight has some moments, like just the Heath Ledger scenes.
You mean things you like about the movies?
Yeah, yeah.
They're good movies.
I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan.
Yeah, I do prefer them than those Avengers things, but
uh,
hey, that's just my opinion, man.
I like the adaptation they did for the Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, the thing with those adaptation ones is they are like pretty exclusively worse than the comics. Like they tend to add nothing, and just kind of be worse than the comics, and just like they cut cool like character scenes and substitute them with pointless action scenes. Because there's this concept in like superhero movies that superhero movies are action movies. And there isn't really a thing in comics. Having an action scene in like every issue or every whatever isn't an expectation in comics. Comics aren't very fight centric, really.
I completely would like more superhero movies if they followed that.
Yeah, that's why I'd probably like recommend comics to you sooner than movies, because comics tend to like action scenes in comics are really boring. You can make exciting action scenes in comics. They aren't that great of a medium to have like an elaborate fight. So they usually like the conflicts aren't just like one guy beating the other one up, because that's really not easy to make interesting in sequential art. So you notice that in the DC they do a bunch of direct-to-video adaptations of like classic comics, and they always invent fight scenes where there were none, because they look at those comics and they realize, oh, there aren't any fights in these. Or like one scene, there's the Killing Joke is like the worst adaptation, and there's like one scene when like Batman punches Joker once and then throws him through a window, and they turn that into like a two-sided giant fight that takes forever, and Joker's somehow fighting on par with Batman. And that's just not his thing. He's not able to fight as well as Batman. He uses tricks and hostages and stuff that makes so Batman just can't straight up beat him. He's not like Fight Man.
Since it sells, they do those things with adaptation. But when you say those things, I think about like I do not read a lot of comics, but I do read some manga, and I do think like most battle and fighting in manga are confusing, but I do like what Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academia. They do with fighting, because it's a little clear in manga, and they do extend it a little bit on the anime, which
Uh,
make it just amount of fighting, I guess. And I do appreciate it. I guess they do know how to measure it. It's a
yeah,
good adaptation.
I guess, yeah. And that's like decently paced. Like I got bored with Boku no Hero, but
Yeah.
I like it's not like bad pacing,
No,
and
I got you. Like,
it's not like just fights like some stuff.
yeah, no, I do love it, but I do get you. Like, I do love it because I do appreciate those things. I know I do have some. I do not have a problem with a straight up shonen. Like,
Uh,
so that's not a bad thing for me.
yeah, I have
Barely a
a
bit.
lot less patience for shonen than you.
No, I do have some. I do accept more. So,
Uh,
but I do know that it's different from like JoJo's and Hunter x Hunter, which I do think they're more
Martin,
special. But I do think My Hero is special, but not different.
that was wearing a Heroic shirt right now. You also have one.
You are wearing one right
No,
now.
Dead Wolf.
That was sorry. I'm reading like
Uh,
past chat because I got a bit lost and I'm really slow.
and they said Dark Knight Returns adaptation doesn't have as many fight scenes. I actually only watched like a clip of it, and the one clip I watched of it was an added fight scene. But if it's not like completely everywhere, then it's probably better because they say it's like the same era as Year One, and Year One is really good. I still prefer the comic for Year One, but the animated one's pretty good. Like if you're not like a comics person who's probably not going to go ahead and read a comic, I would recommend Year One. There's also All Star Superman isn't that bad. They also do add fight scenes to the comic, which has like approximately no fights. So they do add some and cut my favorite chapter, but it's still like not bad. All Star Superman is so great. It's like 6 issues or something, and it's like basically everything that Superman is, which is something that would be news to anybody watching the movies because they aren't very Superman-ish usually. But yeah, I also like get that people. Are you still there? I'm not listening.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of input on Superman stuff, but
No, no,
I'm
no.
hearing you. I'm
Sure,
hearing
sure.
you. I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. It was just like so silent. I was like,
I'm sorry. So, no,
did
because
it
I'm
fall?
focusing on Dead Wolf. I'm trying to read because I'm a bit behind.
Yeah, yeah. Like I get that people who know Batman through the movies don't like the character because Batman in most of the movies is an asshole. Like he's a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, I like an asshole character.
But he's not a fun kind of asshole.
No, yeah. No, he's just an asshole.
He's like a total douche.
There's normal. There are some good characters that sound like good people that like him, and that kind of locks you with rooting for him. Like Alfred, you normally will like Alfred.
Yeah. Alfred's always likable, but you know, like Batman the animated series is pretty good. Like if you read comics even now, if you pick up a Batman comic, like you will recognize him from the animated series, where he's a lawful good character who's just like kind of grim a little bit, but he actually does have a sense of humor. He's just kind of a dry sense of humor.
Nah, yeah, that's the best. No, not the best. Because there is also the old one. I forgot the name.
And there's like, oh, the other Batman is also really good.
Yep.
Superman, Superwoman variant of an OC. Let me see. Cool. Superwoman, is that like the from the dimension? I'm not like up to date on the comics. Is it from the dimension where all the genders are inverted, or is there another
Yeah.
superhuman? Or is it?
Is it a thing?
Oh yeah, in the comics it has been like forever. There's like the Rule 32 dimension or whatever, you know. There's a dimension where all the only difference is everywhere is the opposite gender because there's a billion dimensions. Like they make jokes about how many dimensions there are. There's 11. There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar enough with comics, but I can understand those jokes because yeah, I do feel overwhelmed and I do not read them about how many universes and dimensions.
I feel like Batman in the current comics has got something for every situation that kind of annoys me. I mean, this it used to be played as more of a joke. It's kind of lame if it's like, oh, he's so cool, because it used to be like a joke, you know, like bat repellent. Like shark repellent. Like that wasn't a joke from the '60s version. There was a very typical joke for the comics, you know, like he has something for everything. Green Arrow used to have the same joke, where he'd have an arrow for everything. You know, like a dumb little character joke. But yeah, Batman unfortunately has kind of obnoxious fanboys around him that want him to be like a badass too much. Like they want him to always be like the coolest, smartest, most prepared guy in the room.
He's too edgy though. That's it.
Yeah. Like this is typical dark, brooding Mary Sue character, which is kind of meh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Edgy boy, but
that's something that like the Justice League cartoon used to be pretty good at, where like sometimes he would be the guy to, you know, save the day with resourcefulness, but he was usually like pretty vulnerable because like he's the only human guy.
yeah, I guess that wolf got it. Yeah, he's just too cool and powerful, and his appeal is his vulnerability. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's supposed to, like in the context of Justice League, he has like one thing that works, which is like, oh, I'm the human one, you know. I'm the one who doesn't have superpower and has to get by just being resourceful and stuff.
And normally that's a huge appeal to a character.
Yeah, that's super likable. But you know, you can in every story you're doing that. You know, that becomes kind of repetitive if you're doing that all the time, because that's his one gimmick in the Justice League. That's the only thing he can do, because Batman has no business being in the Justice League. He's a street level, like mafia fighting hero. You know, he's not. He can save the world.
He can be he could be a really good character. How less, not really less, but less he is than the others, but he uses his smarts and he feels it. Like there's a lot of a good character building thing here.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of limited, and he should like interact with the Justice League sometimes. He shouldn't be a regular member because most of the time he has no business there. Like. They basically did that. I feel like they did what you just said pretty well in the animated universe.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is Batman's power level, both in the animated universe and in the comics. This is like animated universe Superman, and like this is comics Superman.
Okay.
Basically, like in the comics, Batman has no business in the Justice League. Like it's absurd how below everyone else he is. Like in the animated universe, like you could shoot a missile at Superman and he'll feel it or something. In the comic, Superman could just destroy the Earth at any point. Like he could step hard and destroy the Earth. Like nothing but like magical space alien creatures has any chance against him.
He's an epic.
Yeah, he's an epic level. Yeah, that was basically
way higher epic level, way higher there.
Yeah. But
40 or something.
But you know, it's like usually really old stories about gods and stuff. They like move mountains and drink oceans. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like Thor drinks an ocean in like a story because they just used to use completely ridiculous stuff like that. So there's not going to be any human scale stuff that can touch them. So in the stories, they're always just fighting other like super science or magic stuff that just is in this absurd power level along with them. So Batman, like the guy throws shurikens. Batman is good for funding the Justice League, like Maxwell Lord. Yeah, and that's a really dumb thing about what happened to Batman. I feel like being in the Justice League really helped to ruin Batman because he used to be like an old money guy. You know, like he was from a family that was pretty rich on his city, which is not like a huge city, like or wasn't implied to be a very big city. Didn't look like a very big city in the comics, in the early Batman stuff. And that was basically serving two functions. One, you didn't have to worry about where Batman has money to like not work all day and still afford costumes and shurikens. And two, he was kind of a mysterious lord, sophisticated guy, which is already copied from Zorro, which is copied from the Scarlet Pimpernel. So he's like the romantic hero guy who's like this old-fashioned, sophisticated dude who lives alone in a big house and he's all mysterious. And he doesn't have to work during the day. That was it. Then over the years, they needed to like justify him, like he's helping in the Justice League, and the only way they had to do that was, oh, he's the one giving the money. His money build a satellite. His money has like teleportation things and spacecrafts for the Justice League. It's like, how fucking rich is this guy? Then like they retconned it, so he has a tech company. He didn't used to have a tech company. His dad's a doctor. Why does he have a tech company?
But being a doctor is kind of a different kind of reach
Yeah.
than buying satellites and such.
Yeah. And now his company is everything. It's like tech and weapons and vehicles and fucking medical equipment and everything. And Wayne Corp is like the biggest company in the universe. And it's stupid. Like if he has that amount of wealth, his time is so wasted being the Batman. There are more effective ways to fight organized crime, Bruce. I don't care how corrupt the police force is, you could like fund an entire like free police force of people who get paid so much money that there's no point in being corrupted ever. You know? Just give like give $100,000 per month per police officer in Gotham, and now they won't be corrupt anymore because they're so fucking rich. Their problem solved. It's probably still cheaper than building like a super high-tech suit with hologram superpowers. Like this is not effective resource. Yeah, why do you still use shurikens? That made sense when you're just kind of a rich guy, but now you have like high-tech explosive laser field generating shurikens. Like, do they still need to be shurikens? I feel like you're going about this in a very impractical way.
Maybe it's more real this way.
I think he owns the Daily Planet now. He also owns the press. Why? The version of Superwoman I have is more like Elseworlds 11 type thing. Like, for example, her main enemy is Vandal Savage rather than Lex Luthor. Oh, cool. Savage is cool. Have you played the Batman Arkham games? What do you think of Batman in those? I played just to flex on Clark. Muru. Every employee of the Daily Planet now has to wear a shirt that says "I'm definitely not Superman." So I played Arkham Asylum back when it was new, and it was like fun. And then I bought Arkham City for basically nothing on Steam, and I started playing it. And I'd have to say one of the things that turned me off about it is I don't like the characters or how they're written. I thought like I played very little of it, so I can like make a final judgment of it. I just kind of didn't get carried away, and in the beginning, like the part that I played, I thought Bruce was pretty douchey, and Harley Quinn had this really obnoxious characterization where she kind of, I don't know. She has like a naughty schoolgirl fetish personality.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't sound like Harley Quinn. You know, that's kind of harsh and like I'm exaggerating it, but you know, it's in that direction. You know.
It's not hard to believe. I
Yeah.
haven't played it yet. I do admit it's kind of a bummer if because I want to play it because I do got a lot of those games.
Yeah,
on
like
games because it was free sometime.
yeah. Play the first one is pretty good, self-contained little game. The second one is kind of a bigger scale, and I didn't get carried away with it because like the story parts were just kind of annoying me a little bit.
Yeah. Wow. I will someday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's playing right now.
Oh, I literally played
Right?
Arkham Knight right now. I had a lot of fun with all of them back in the day, but now I can't help but have a lot of issue with the series as a whole. It is still somewhat curious to see what they're going to do with Kill's Justice League. I don't know what that is. I'm curious if here Toxin Batman will make an appearance. Yeah, I'm not up to date with those things. I don't know what they mean. But I don't really like Harley in anything outside of Batman the Animated Series. Yes, right now.
I'm with you. I'm with
yeah.
you on this.
I haven't watched the James Gunn Suicide Squad yet. I would hope he would do a good job with that because I think he's pretty good. He generally is good at stuff. Like I really liked. No, my favorite Marvel movie is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I thought she was okay in Birds of Prey.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
She's kind of obnoxious in Suicide Squad, but you know, being bad is kind of the point of that movie.
Yeah. Since this is the tone of the whole movie, yeah, the main problem. Is
That whole movie was made thinking, you know, let's make everything terrible.
Yeah.
Let's make everything about it just the worst possible. So
My specific. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I do. Yeah, completely.
So if she was good, that would kind of undermine the whole movie.
Yeah. No, that's not the issue there. My issue with her specifically is the over sexualization. Just only.
Yeah, she's also that's not so a thing in in Birds of Prey. Also the Harley Quinn animated series. I wasn't going to watch it because I thought that it would be like Suicide Squad Harley Quinn because it was like greenlit after that. But my girlfriend recommended it and I watched it and it's actually pretty fun. It's a comedy series and it's pretty good.
The Harley Quinn animated.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons. It's pretty good. They're making Justice Squad game that takes place in after Arkham Knight. It's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Okay. Suicide Squad game, sorry. Yeah, that sounds more interesting than like a Justice League game. Or another Batman game, because Jesus Christ, there are a lot of Batman games.
Oh yes, there are.
Can you believe there's still not a Flash movie? Like, there's no Flash movies, not a single one. There's also not a single Wonder Woman video game.
There is a
None exist.
series, right?
Yeah, there's a series that I don't know. I watched like 2 episodes and thought it was pretty
It,
bad.
it's with we have to talk. It is with the guy who makes. We need to talk about Kevin or something, right?
I have no idea. But I watched a couple of episodes. It was kind of cheap and not fun. I guilty pleasure. I enjoyed the first couple seasons of Supergirl, but Flash just didn't like it.
Yeah, the only Marvel series I watched was Jessica Jones season one. I don't know. I don't remember if there is a season two.
I also
There
started
is a-
watching Jessica Jones. It seemed pretty good, but it's just one of those things that I didn't continue. you know. But
Right.
yeah, it seemed good.
Yeah, and I love David Tennant, so yeah.
Mm. So yeah, Supergirl is dumb but fun and like a better Superman series than it's such a better Superman than the recent movies or anything like that.
Flashpoint movie.
It said the Flashpoint movie is just going to be a Batman movie. Oh no, they made an adaptation of Flashpoint, like the comic Flashpoint, right? I think that's pretty decent. Like it's the thing that like rebooted the universe to do the new 52, which is basically when DC decided to just be terrible all the time forever. Not forever. But they just made, hey, let's kind of rework the universe, simplify some stuff, get everything a fresh start, so you don't need to have read anything before, which they do every once in a while. Like kind of simplify the continuity, so you can pick things up then and not have to worry that a new series will require any previous reading to be understandable. So they did that, and they thought, what are we going to do this time? Last time we did this, we like really simplified the series, made Superman the only Kryptonian again. We turned Lex Luthor into like a businessman to like reflect modern things, and we made Wonder Woman more political again, and we made like Batman more greedy, and he starts off and he's not really a hero, so that stuff. So this time, how about we take everything and just make it awful? Like, just take everything about everything and just make it really bad and lame and bad. But then they did Rebirth. Like 2 years later, they rebooted stuff. But instead of like doing a bunch of continuity nonsense that you have to catch up on because they changed the whole universe, they just like restarted all the series with like a status quo jump. And all the characters magically became non-lame versions of themselves. Like everybody stopped being written like an asshole, and stories stopped being stupid, and like magically there's a woman that's like really important. There's like one of the most powerful humans, like non-powerful people in the DC universe, who's also like an older, heavier black woman, by standards of like comic books. And they made like young and thin when they did the New 52, and then when Rebirth happened, she just magically became older and heavier again. And nobody asked.
Black, at least, right?
No, she was always black.
At least.
But she magically became older and heavier again, and nobody asked any questions because everybody just wanted that to be the case.
Okay, yeah. I would just
that-
let's pretend nothing happened.
There were 5 full years. Yeah, I actually, I was kind of reading comics when New 52 happened, and that was what completely disengaged me, and I didn't read any comics for like 8 or 9 years. Then I found out about New 52, about Rebirth, and when I took a look at some other comics, I still haven't read that many, but I read some Rebirth stuff, like last year, and the year before that maybe. And I liked a lot of stuff. Like they just basically, if you had like after showing me the new 52, if you had asked me, hey, what do you want us to do now? Like, let's just reboot it again. What do you want me to do? It was probably pretty close to Rebirth. Like, it was pretty good. I still just don't read that many comics nowadays, but I really like the stuff that I looked into. I really liked. There's a lot of cool stuff. Some of them took like really cool, like artistic directions. Like Martian Manhunter is so stylized and cool. I liked Green Arrow Rebirth, which is by Otto Smith, which is a great, like the art is by Otto Smith. I really love his style, and just they made Green Arrow communist again, because yeah. Yeah, they like they made him in the Rebirth thing. He's like in the series, I guess, like the TV series. He was kind of apolitical, and they got rid of his beard, and he was really douchey. And then he went back to communist dad, Green Arrow, which is the correct Green Arrow.
Yeah, yeah, that's the appeal to me, and I barely know anything from him. But
I would recommend either Green Arrow Rebirth or like 70s Green Arrow Green Lantern, which is like a road trip thing with a leftist and a conservative, but not like because like it's clearly written from a left perspective, but like Green Lantern still like he's not awful, and like he's well intentioned, you know, even though the series usually takes more of Green Arrow's side. But I like that even though he's right, he's still kind of a douche, but not in an unlikable way. Like, he's a bit of an asshole. He's a smart ass. He talks way too much. He's pontificating. But I like him.
yeah, I have to have
Yeah, he
some
has.
flaws.
Yeah. He's more appealing. He's the kind that like I like aspirational characters, but you know, not every character should be an aspirational character.
Yeah, and even aspirational characters, when they do have
Oh
flaws,
yeah.
they are much more aspiring.
Yeah. I mean, like Batman is pretty much that formula when he's done right. Like he's aspirational, but he's also flawed. Like
yeah. Exactly.
he's a bit obsessive.
That's the loss. That's the loss we were talking about.
New 52 is when I started reading comics. Oh no! And I couldn't even tell what was reading was bad. Though I mostly read Batman, which was agreed to be the best thing about New 52. Yeah, I heard good things, though I didn't read that. Because by the time New 52 came along, I was pretty done with Batman. I just, you know, if I was going to read, I wasn't reading that many comics, and I was going to read something else, you know. Kinda had enough of the guy. I love you, Bruce, but, you know.
Not this time.
There's a bit too much of him. But yeah, it was a lot of pretty bad stuff about it. But I read some Birds of Prey from Rebirth, which is pretty fun and well drawn. I mostly read comics because they look pretty. Like I read them when I'm like, basically I'm studying the art style of the artist, and there's also a story going on. But that's basically how I read comics. What if an art lesson had a silly story going on?
You do like choose to learn some kind of art because you are going to do something on this style, or not necessarily? Or
No,
never?
I just want to add it to my repertoire. I've never studied a piece with like a style with a piece in mind.
Never. Okay.
Yeah, I've never really done that because by the time I have a piece in mind, I want to, you know, be able to do it in a shorter term than that.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like when I read Green Arrow Rebirth, it was because I had just discovered Otto Smith and I wanted to, see what he was doing because it was really good.
Oh.
Style is so dynamic. Like it's very flowy and has like big bold lines while still being, not cartoony. I wouldn't call it cartoony. It's just really confident lines, and I really like it. I'm thinking about watching Batman the Animated Series. Is it good all the way through? Is there something I should know? So I started watching a while back with my girlfriend. We were kind of rewatching the animated series. It's really good. It's very episodic. I wouldn't recommend watching it like a Netflix series. You shouldn't watch one episode after another. It will start getting kind of repetitive, like a lot of stuff from the time is. Also, most DVDs of the Batman animated series start with a really weird Christmas special thing that has a really different tone from the rest of the stuff. I guess it technically aired first, but On Leather Wings is the original episode. The Christmas special, if you watch it later. It will give you like a completely wrong impression. It's like the Star Wars Christmas special was the first thing in the Star Wars box set. It's kind of weird. Like it's not that radical, but it's kind of more comically themed than the others. And it doesn't introduce the characters when On Leather Wings introduces the characters to you. It's really odd. It already just has Batman and the Joker and like treats you like you're acquainted with everything. I don't know why it's number one on most of the episode lists. Must have been some like quirk of programming that had it end up airing before the actual series, so they put it at first, but don't watch it first. It's weird. Otherwise, not much to tell you. Just the first season has some really classic episodes, but also some episodes that were still kind of finding their footing. The Joker, they took a while to find him. Like the Joker isn't that great in the first couple of episodes. He'll turn out to be like the best rendition of the Joker, but the early episodes is not that interestingly written. But yeah, you'll find your way. It's all pretty much good. There isn't like a bad season or anything. Sorry, a bunch of comments happened while I was monologuing. I really enjoyed the Court of Owls arc, but then the death of the family, which was a bit too much for me. Death of the Family, I don't know what that is, but it's a pun, like it's a twist on Death in the Family, which is the comic where the second Robin died. Like the second Robin that was died, not the second Robin that died. Only one of them died. They did the Batman 0 year. Well, everything has to be like a reference to another thing. That's the thing I hate about comics. Like they're all
that bothers me.
Nowadays, everything is just a nod to fanboys because they've completely failed to expand their audience, despite superheroes being more popular than ever through adaptations. They completely failed to turn their audience into a comics reading audience, and so they just resort to like pandering to fanboys that already know everything.
Yeah, that actually just pull people away, right? Like I do feel like
that completely turns people off. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It turned me completely off. Like it's kind of arrogant. I don't know.
Yeah, like I can. All the comics I own, like if you come to like my shelf, everything that I own is self-contained. I own no comics that require previous knowledge of the characters that you wouldn't have from pop culture, because it's just the stories I like, the stories I wanted to own. I never read like Batman number blah 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 basically. The only serialized stuff that I read was like the first book of a new series, and then it continues, and I don't go along with it that far, after a reboot. Like Batman right after everything after Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is like the 80s reboot, is pretty good. Like those Wonder Woman ones that you saw me buy on Comic-Con. That's basically like the Wonder Woman reboot from 87, I think, and it's really good. Sorry I talked too much. No problem. It's just that I was talking for a really long time without reading. It's the number one most episode listed because episodes were aired out of order. Yeah. Joker wants to kill off the entire Bat family, so it can just be him and Batman, and the Joker cut off his own face. I knew about the cutting off his own face and then putting it back thing, but I didn't like read the story. I don't know anything about it. Too edgy, yeah, absolutely. Hello, hi Karen. She's on her house, right?
Yeah.
No,
like,
it was
probably.
and the Batman writer's fault. It happened in a different comic. Oh no. That's a mess. Another thing that kind of sucks about Batman is like he's so popular that there's like Batman and Detective Comics, and then the Batman Adventures, and then every Batman character has a spin-off. So like everything about the world is like tied up in a million different comics that are being written in parallel by different people. So everybody's like perpetually hamstruck by like editorial stuff. Like if you're writing fucking Green Arrow or some shit, nobody gives a shit, and you can just write whatever you want. You know, like Batman, they're so confined by like editorial stuff and making it make sense with every other billion Batman series.
And it makes harder to read because you have to read everything, right?
Yeah, like they can, at the worst of times, they can like bring up stuff that's currently happening in other comics, and that's stupid.
Yeah, and that's exactly what also turns me off on Avengers and such, because there's too many movies involved, and I didn't watch most of them, so I can't like watch the next Avengers because I didn't watch like the other 15 movies.
Yeah, like you can. Like I watched Civil War without watching Avengers 2, so I didn't know who the hell were like Vision and Wanda. Like I knew the Scarlet Witch from like the old, not even comic, because I've never read Marvel comics. I just picked one and went with DC because I like Batman the Animated Series basically. But I knew from like the X-Men cartoon. So I know and from having nerdy friends, so I know who the Scarlet Witch is. Didn't know basically anything about Vision. Didn't know where they came from. But they write those movies so you don't really have to know anything.
Okay. Yeah, I was a bit overwhelmed also, so yeah.
You would have less engagement to the characters because you don't know them and you don't know like the meaning of a certain thing to a certain character. Like you wouldn't know why a certain action is meaningful for the guy because you don't know his story.
Yeah, that's huge for me. Like, those
So
are
yeah,
the things I
so
like.
so the story you will lose engagement, you won't lose plot. The plot is built for you to understand it.
Okay, yeah, but I do care about engagement and
Yeah.
plot, especially on this kind of plot that don't seem like really good.
Yeah, the plot is pretty superfluous in those movies. So
So
it's more. I always thought they were more. They're fan service. They're going to be interesting to you. It's not that you won't get it, but you won't care if you don't care about the characters.
Yeah. The plot itself is almost like a plot device, like the whole plot, just so the characters do things.
It's like imagine you never played a Nintendo game before, and then you sit down to play Subspace Emissary from Brawl. It's like, what is this platformer? What?
Yeah.
Why are there so many characters? Why do I see each character in a second? What are they doing? What are these places? Like, why should I care about anything? Why can't you just focus for a second?
Yeah.
Because it's fan service. It's not really a plot.
Completely fan service. Yeah, and it is a crossover. And also Avengers, so that's it. It's requiring to know. You should want to watch the crossover thing if you like the things that are in it, right? So, I
really wouldn't like recommend the Avengers for someone who doesn't give a crap about like the characters.
but it got huge. So yeah.
Yeah, but the individual movies got huge as well. People had watched the individual movies.
Yeah, I did watch some of them without knowing they would be part of a huge thing. Like I watched Iron Man, the first one.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
I'm not really a fan of Iron Man because, like, the first. I think Iron Man, the character, gets most of his good development in other people's movies.
Yeah,
Because, like,
the character is not
the
great.
yeah,
The
like
acting is good.
the Iron Man movies seem to think that by the end of Iron Man 2, Tony Stark is no longer an asshole. By the end of Iron Man 2, Tony Stark is still very much an asshole.
Yeah, by the end of Iron Man 1.
He's not like an arms merchant anymore, but he's still an asshole.
Yeah.
He's still very unlikable, but he becomes likable. Like Robert Downey Jr. did a great job with that character, but over time, I would say like the end of the Avengers when he like diverts the missile is probably like he learns to work with other people and not like be just completely about himself and an egotistic asshole, and works with other people and actually makes a sacrifice for once. Like that's when he becomes a hero like at all. And from then on, like his character is really good in Civil War. Like for the most part, you tend to side with him and not Captain America in Civil War. But like at the end, his reasoning is like emotional and not logical when he wants to avenge his parents and stuff. But early on, like he's making more sense. And when he does illogical stuff, is for like you understand why he would do that. He's overcompensating for his own flaws and his own like past bad decisions. Like he's well written. And then when he becomes like surrogate father to Peter Parker in the first Spider-Man, that's really good. So like they made a good character out of him, but on his own movies, he's just kind of a douche. So most of his development happens in crossovers. So I would say, you know, one of the series that I would say is pretty skippable in the Marvel universe, in my opinion, is the Iron Man films. I don't think they're that good.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I didn't watch the second one.
It's very similar to the first.
I do believe it.
They are the most like everything about Marvel movies being really similar. Like Iron Man is like the most similar. Like they are all similar to Iron Man. That was the blueprint. Is Batman/Batman related comics in the new 52 Batman list of Batman? Yeah, okay, look, so that huge poster there is just Batman comics. Yikes. Yeah, that's just people just don't get tired of the guy, right? I don't get it. Like it's fun, like it's a fun concept, but yikes, there are other superheroes. Justice League Dark. Yeah, like he was in the first Justice League Dark in New 52, right? He's not in Justice League Dark Rebirth. There's like Wonder Woman. I love the lineup. I have it. I haven't read it yet, but I love the lineup for Justice League Dark. It's on the DC Rebirth. Arlec's going. Bye, Arlec. Take care. So what was I saying? Yeah, the new Justice League Dark is like Wonder Woman, and then there's I think Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Man Bat, and Detective Shimp. Detective Shimp is exactly what you picture when I say Detective Shimp. Except he uses a sword.
That's awesome.
So there's a great lineup.
Okay, that's awesome.
And they're fighting like Lovecraftian monstrosities.
Oh, that's awesome.
Google Justice League Dark Rebirth. Like the art's pretty good and
Justice League Dark Rebirth?
yeah, Rebirth.
Oh.
I'm gonna use the liquify tool to make this look more like him.
For me. Mhm. That's great.
See, that's the shit they should be making movies out of.
Yeah.
That's why when they announced the original Suicide Squad, I was looking forward to it for like the first time in a really long time. I was looking forward to a superhero movie
Hmm.
because that sounded like the kind of idea I kept saying they should make. Suicide Squad is like a kind of darkly comedic thing about a bunch of like villains being forced to like work for the government as a black ops team. Is usually like these really mismatched like teams because they don't really want to work together. Of villains that don't get a of villains that don't get a lot of attention. Usually, they're usually somewhat secondary villains. So yeah, that's a great idea. But the movie is just the worst. I actually had fun watching Suicide Squad. It was like 90s bad. They don't make bad movies like that anymore nowadays. You know?
Movie?
Suicide Squad. Like it's the type of bad that you don't see nowadays. It's bad like Steel starring Shaquille O'Neal. It's like it's proper bad. It's not like this is pretty mediocre and derivative and too similar to the other one. No, it's bad. The plot makes no fucking sense bad. That's what I want.
So you were happy with the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, no, because I wanted it to be actually good. And people say that the new one is actually good. I'm going to sit down and watch it. Might even do it like tonight. But yeah, I was happier with it than if it was mediocre. Like the worst thing a movie can be is mediocre. Like you just wasted a couple of hours of my life, especially because I got dragged to watch it with friends. So I couldn't escape or do something else. I was stuck in a movie theater. So yeah, I'm glad it wasn't mediocre. It was properly terrible and we were laughing, like ranting at it on the way out. So it was a good experience. I do not regret watching it. I'm lagging really bad. Oh no. The quality selection options went away from me. Oh no! I think I'm back, but I lost the entire chat feed. Oh. The new one is very good. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, like I believe in like the team's ability because like Margot Robbie clearly can do well as Harley Quinn. Like her text was terrible in Suicide Squad, and like they didn't get that Harley and the Joker are obviously an abusive relationship. Like even the children's cartoon wasn't like blunt enough for them to get that, and they tried to romanticize it.
Yeah.
And like she's really lame, the stuff that she says, and the way that like she is constantly like trying to be sexy for no reason. Like she knows there's an audience.
It's not Margaret Robbie.
Yeah, that's not her fault. She delivered the lines really well. She did a pretty good Harley Quinn impression, basically, because like she sounded like the cartoon.
Yeah, she did a good job.
And then she was in Birds of Prey, and she was good in Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is a lot of fun. Like if Suicide Squad the second is basically like Birds of Prey, I'm fine with it. The Birds of Prey is like a humble superhero movie, you know. It's like a small scale kind of thing. It takes itself with a sense of humor, and it has some really good performances. By the way, I recommend it. Like I think you will probably like it, João, if you watch it. There's Ian McGregor is a really great villain. There's Obi-Wan. There's Trainspotting. There's just.
I didn't watch this one actually. I
Okay.
want to, but I didn't yet.
He's the guy from Moulin Rouge.
I know who is.
Yeah, I'm just like quoting Ewan McGregor movies now. By the way, if you click there's a little dollar sign thing, like a blue dollar sign thing on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can click it. You probably have a bunch of channel points now just from watching. You get more channel points if you click the little box when it appears, because they like so you can, if you stay engaged, you get more points. Is the idea.
Oh.
But anyway,
That's what it is.
yeah.
And what I do with those?
So if you click the little sign, you find the rewards. Some of them are sound alerts. Some of them are like stuff where you can use my emotes. There's one that's called Hello There. It's the cheapest one.
It's here.
Yeah, just click it real quick since it's like really cheap. It's like the cheapest one.
Hello there.
So yeah, that's a thing. You can say hello there. So that's usually, you know, if someone is like, he's the man who stare at goats, I think.
Time to play the game.
Oh crap!
Time to play the game.
It's time to play the game!
Haha.
It's opening. Wait, let me enter gamer mode.
Yeah. Put the sound up to get the feeling. Nice.
I need to get faster at opening the game, but here it is.
Do it.
I'll play one life, is the thing. Thing is that I am too good at video games.
Yeah, impressive.
I am too skilled. An epic gamer.
Mad skill.
I'll do the thing where I have a good chance of dying right away. You can catch them from the right, like, usually you have to exit the thing as they're entering it, but you can, if they're coming from the right, you can catch them first. Which the demo from the game, you know, when the game just kind of plays itself while it's waiting for you to press start, uses this, which is basically the developers teaching you this. Like, it's almost certainly a glitch, like it happened initially by accident. Doesn't make a lot of sense that you can do it coming from the left but not from the right. But they apparently thought it was an interesting mechanic and just left it, because it's in the demo, like they programmed it.
Yeah, it's intentional.
So they kept it. A lot of stuff happens like that where people just finally gamers as powerful as me. Let's do battle. Yeah, I'm not especially good at video games. There aren't any games that I'm like crazy good at.
There aren't many games you are crazy good at?
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't have any games that I say like, wow, I'm so good at that game. Like, I don't know.
You're generally good at games, like better than me. I'm generally bad, at least.
Yeah, but you know, neither of
Normally
us have.
mediocre.
Yeah, but neither of us has like a game that we've like focused a lot on being really good at. Probably the competitive game that I was best at ever was like Melee when we used to play it a bunch.
Melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried Melee. Yeah.
But
That was like
we were never like good at Melee. We never like used.
you were.
uh,
Yeah, you were better than me, and you couldn't like stand up close to a pro, probably.
yeah, not even like the lowest level of people who play competitively, because
Yeah.
we don't really incorporate, like we can wave dash and do an attack, you know, like we can like do that once, but we can't really incorporate that effectively into strategy, like,
Yeah.
because we just never played like that. I never
We don't
wanted.
have a scene like here to make us play like that. I guess that do influence something.
Yeah, you need like competition to get better. Like you can only
Yeah.
be slightly better than your best opponent at a competitive thing.
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, and you have your brother.
Yeah.
Had your brother, and then I.
Before he died
You had you? Actually, yeah, I died.
from
And I-
from losing too bad at Melee.
Yeah, and I had
I
you before
just-
you died from losing too bad at me.
I just killed him by just being too epic, and I beat him using Bowser, and he just never recovered from that.
I remember when he played game with us, and he was not familiar with the brawl character.
Uh,
And then King DDD, I used King DDD, and he was not at all familiar with what King DDD did. And he was surprised with every move, and he couldn't. The madness, the mad.
although, like the first time I played Smash 4, I was winning every fight because like my friends who had it and like played it more regularly because they had a Wii U. You know, they weren't like super serious. They were familiar with the
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
but just from playing Melee a bunch, I was better at 4 than they were.
No, yeah, I the first time I played 4,
You won a
was at the-
tournament.
I won a
forgot.
tournament.
Yeah,
like,
I forgot
and
you
I
had
was,
an objectively
my-
better version of this. Sorry.
my hand was broken.
Yeah.
I had a what's the name? The carcass?
No, there's
that's
not the carcass.
No, that's not carcass. No, that's not.
You know, your hand was like bandaged up.
Yeah, it was severely.
So
And,
yeah, because like
Yep.
Melee is kind of a faster version of it, so we trained at 100 times Earth's gravity. They had no chance. We
Yeah.
took off the weights, and our power was incredible.
And even with my hand broken, like I just was chill,
So you fell for a
being
second.
more careful with
Oh,
my
you
moves.
still, oh, okay.
So
I'm lagging again. Oh, that's weird.
that was good actually for playing with people who were at my level or less. So, yeah.
Mm.
And it was funny because I took in one of the, it was like 2 turns and then the final, and one of them that I won. Then the final was like the winner of the first championship and the second. That was kind of it.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one, I got the 3 strongest player in a row. 3 strongest players in a row, and and the final was with an NPC because like the other side of the championship.
Oh, that's not a really good format, is it?
No, it was by chance. It was not. It was sorted out.
Oh, you didn't space out because on tournaments, on like sports tournaments, finally back. Why does it keep happening? I don't know. I hope it's on your end and it's not happening for everybody. I like in tournaments, like they make sure that the first and the second best players don't play each other. So there's like tennis, an individual sport. They space out, so if it's like a tournament with 32 people, like rank 1 is going to play rank 32 in the first match, and rank 2 is going to play 31. You know, they space them out so they narrow, and only like the best ones like meets at the end.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Otherwise,
Yeah, it was.
like you can literally have a 32-person tournament where the 31st is second place, and the second best. Oops, I was out of salt and didn't realize. Yikes, I died. And the second best is eliminated in the first round.
Yeah.
So yeah, they usually have some kind of.
It was a fun thing.
Sucks to be ranked 32. Yeah, but it sucks to be 32. But you know, they didn't go into the tournament thinking they would win, right? Get a better rank next time, I guess, because you know somebody has to go against number 1, and you know
it should be balanced. Yeah.
that's a little bit more fair.
I don't know what's the name in English, like cabeça de chave.
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, there are like the people that are best when there are a group phase. The better ones are. want them to kill each other at the beginning and want them to stay at the. If they do not go through, no, that's interesting because they lost to the supposedly weaker.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you want to minimize like good people losing to other better people. Early.
Yeah.
By the way, like Melee is still the only competitive game that I watch sometimes. I watched like the semifinals and finals basically of the last Smash Summit, and it was really good. The final is so good. Mango versus Zane on Summit 2021. Such a good fight. I was.
Who was them playing?
Zane was Marth, so I was rooting for Zane because I'm a Marth.
Yeah, on.
And you know, we're still out here, you know, delaying 20XX. I don't know if you know that meme.
No.
20XX was a meme created by a guy in the Melee community that said that in the dystopic future of 20XX, because it's basically like Mega Man X games.
Mega Man
style,
joke?
Yeah. There would be only foxes, like every player would be a fox.
Okay.
Because
yeah,
it used to be that, you know, the best players were fairly well distributed among like top tier characters. If you look like older stuff, like when there were like the 5 Melee gods, there's basically only one fox and like a Sheik and a Peach and a Jigglypuff, you know.
And a Falco sometimes. Right?
Yeah, and the occasional Falco, which is more of a counter pick now.
Yeah, he was my main.
Yeah, I used to really like Falco as well, but nowadays it's rare to find him in like top tier.
I never got along with Fox as much as I did with Falco. So,
Yeah, Fox is kind of hard to play, but Fox has this thing where he acts so fast, like his reflector, like he's really fast on the ground, and his gravity is so fast, and his reflector just hits you frame 1. So if you were infinitely good, like if you were a computer, you would almost definitely be Fox. Because if your reaction time was perfect, it would just be impossible. Like people sometimes make like Fox stasses to show how fast you could combo people and how fast you could pursue them and keep hitting them, which is very like with very you know, mirror the shield thing. They use the shield a lot for that on these stasses, and yeah, it's ridiculous. Like if you were impossibly fast, you would play a Fox and you would be kind of unbeatable. So there was the idea that people would progressively get better at the game to the point where everybody basically just had to play Fox. People who don't play Melee sometimes think that, you know, everybody just plays as Fox on Final Destination. That's not actually accurate. Fox, like, it was never just Fox. And Fox is, like, there are characters that are considered, you know, generally it is said that Matt beats Fox in most, like, he has an advantage against Fox because there are counter picks.
Yeah.
And no Melee tournament that I've ever heard of is played only on Final Destination. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's just literally not a thing. I don't play competitive Smash, but I really like Young Link. Yeah, like at our level that we ever played, you could basically play whoever you liked.
Yeah.
Some characters are a little bit worse, like Bowser. Like I joked about Bowser because Bowser, Kirby, that's kind of tough. But
the games that we played, like the recent years, like before we played we we around and played with different characters and was talking during the play. So yeah, we played with all characters like, for fun.
Yeah.
Look, we would use Young Link and
we just everybody. There's always how I play Smash. I always, especially Melee that doesn't have that many characters. Before this section is over, I'll probably have played every character.
Yeah. And I mostly play with Peach because I'm not really good with Peach, but I love playing with Peach. So may play more with Peach than with Falco in Melee.
Huh. That's a very big difference in taste because I just can't. Like, it's not even a question of just not being good at Peach. I can't enjoy Peach that much because I can't get used to her second jump, like her middle jump, her air jump. I guess.
Yeah.
I can't
like
get
it
used
just
to the
like
fact that it has an acceleration, that it doesn't just go up right away. So I can't. You can use it like to get out of the way of something. I can't get used to that.
It's really vulnerable, but yeah, I like it. She's got.
I got
do-
really into. Sorry, I was just reading.
So yeah, that's my thing.
I got really into Ultimate in college. Then that stopped when the virus hit. Yeah, that sucks.
I never played Ultimate because I never.
In Ultimate, I played Harry.
Oh yeah, I touched that Switch once, but
I touched the Switch once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah!
yeah, but they didn't have this game. They had Pokemon. That's the name. No, the Tekken Pokemon. I don't know. The
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if it's Pokken or Pokken that you're supposed to say.
name. But yeah, I played this game. Yeah, I did it.
I played Pokken once on the Wii U. I'm pretty sure. I guess they deleted part of it for the Switch. But anyway, I played it and I didn't really get it.
I played it at a party.
Yeah.
At Karen's friend house.
Mhm.
Friends' houses. There are a lot of possessives on this. Okay. Friends of. Yeah, okay, got it. His house. As powerful as me. Yeah, exactly. I'm really like old chat.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's a while back.
Yeah, a while back, but I didn't react to it, so I'm now reacting. You say poking like Tekken. Do you say Tekken? Because I say Tekken.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Tekken or Tekken. Maybe it's Tekken. Isn't it, considering that is like Hathaway romanization, aren't the E's all supposed to be E? Like E?
Like,
So isn't it
almost like-
Tekken? I don't know.
yeah.
Tekken? I don't know. I always just kind of heard people saying Tekken, but
Yeah,
it's probably
I
Tekken.
think Tekken may be like in Portuguese, so that's what it sounds natural. If it was a word in Portuguese, stacking.
Yeah,
Tekken.
yeah, that's how you would read it in Portuguese. But yeah. Yeah, but there's a
People
lot of
use-
stuff. There's a lot of like Brazilian pronunciations of games that we didn't know how to say.
Yeah.
The Tomb Raider, which is
Tomb Raider,
Tomb Raider.
yeah.
What else?
And I do embrace some. I didn't embrace, but I started embracing
The Portuguese.
even knowing the right pronunciation. Not the case with Tekken. I don't know the right pronunciation. But like Tomb Raider, I know the pronunciation. But it's Tomb Raider,
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider in Portuguese.
What else? I'm trying to think of something else that's really Half-Life.
Half-Life, it's Half-Life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Half-Life. Why did you put an L in that word if you didn't want us to pronounce it? That was a trap.
Yeah. This is right.
The,
Pronunciation.
I know. I understand you guys got it from the French.
Yeah.
That's a bad influence on you. Writing a bunch
Because
of.
Evolve and evolution in the sense of things going somewhere, not necessarily in the biological sense of evolution. French language did evolve to stop pronouncing most letters because there were a lot of letters, and they removed some letters, right? But not all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's an accent in French, like an accent mark, like a thing that you put on top of the letter, that makes no difference toward sound, and it's only there to tell you that there used to be like a longer thing that got abbreviated. It's basically like an apostrophe, but it works as an accent mark. Just like a gravestone in memory of the letters that passed away.
Which accent is it?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We studied French together. If you don't remember, I don't have to remember
but
it
I don't
either.
remember I didn't think of anything specifically with that explanation. That's why.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing though.
I don't doubt it. I just didn't figure out what was it.
Actually, just going to. I'm taking way too long and making these way too detailed already, but whatever. This is going to be more of a talking stream.
I'm late answering the chat, but
Go for it.
Varg and Varg, I don't know how to say your name, but Smash 4 that I had on my 3DS that was robbed. Then I have a 2DS that don't support amiibos, so I just have an amiibo that I can't use. Yeah.
Oh no.
I do have my Zelda. I trained her. I don't know how good is her, but I did train her.
Yeah.
She is kinda good, at least for people at my level, maybe. The client.
I should declare you greatly appreciate it.
Oh, shots fired.
No, I think they're saying that it's because I'm doing it more detailed, but
Because you're doing my.
really what I meant was like I'm doing more detail on the early phase than I suppose. Like I was going to do this amount of detail.
It is her. She's the. I don't know. Okay.
I robbed your stuff. That wolf stole your 3DS in a Brazilian bus stop.
What?
Wasn't it in a bus stop?
What?
You go.
She bought my stuff. Oh Jesus, that stuff. Okay, that's too traumatic for me to get it less quickly.
To make jokes of
I
all.
got traumatized for that rob for a while. It was like 6 years ago. I'm not really traumatized, but I did. It was a huge thing.
By the way,
No, I forgot.
by the way, my 3DS is just kind of. That's what I
that's
say. Yeah. By the way, my 3DS is just kind of sitting around. If you want to play any 3DS games.
Oh, we can play 3DS games, but I don't.
No, I
but
meant like if you want to borrow
I
it.
know. Yeah, but we
We can
can't
all-
because I have many games. I just have one game.
Yeah, I have every 3DS game. I bought all of them.
I know.
I have.
I don't. I didn't.
I have all the games. Did you know that? Fun fact: I own every 3DS game. I don't usually buy games. I usually only buy them like 5 years after they come out, and I'm really like stingy with games. But for 3DS, I just bought every game. Like Unbreakable and Glass reviewed, he did all the bad things. It was me. I did everything bad. Yeah, all the things bad that ever happened in your life
Oh.
was all
Was
that
bad.
wolf.
Oh. So Bad Wolf hit me with my own cell phone and then robbed me with it.
Mm.
Then robbed. Yeah. I had everything. I had like my notebook, my laptop, and what they say notebook, right? My notebook,
yeah.
my 3DS, my cell phone.
Oh, that really sucks.
I had still my money to take the bus. Which was Wonderbud stuff.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
turn the stalking hands into shrugging hands with a very powerful technique. Bam! How did you like that? My secret forbidden jutsu.
Man,
Has- Has turned his stalking hand into a shrug hand. Right before your eyes.
definitely that was a pro gamer.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still in gamer mode, sorry. That's why I was doing so many pro gamer moves. Now I'm back to art mode. Forgot to turn back from gamer mode. Hey, if I stay too long in gamer mode, like my power levels are just going to rise up and I'm not going to be able to contain them anymore. Like I won't be able to go back,
Yeah.
you know, if you stay too long in that form.
The other day you did it. That was wild.
Yeah. I destroyed the entire universe. Then you had to
Yeah.
wish it back.
Had to rebuild with the only wish I had. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was on Saturday. That was a Saturday.
Yeah.
Normal Saturday. Today's Monday.
Today's totally Monday.
Doesn't feel like a Monday to me.
Aren't you sad because it's Monday and you have to work on your job
Yeah, and I have to. I hate Mondays.
in the office? Yes. I didn't even talk to anyone today until I had my coffee.
I literally.
Am I relatable, boomers? Hello, fellow boomers.
I literally took another cup of coffee before I joined you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because you
that-
needed
that-
to be able to talk to people.
I need to be able to talk.
The only thing that I hate more than Mondays, it's my wife.
Now you did it. Okay, now because it was kind of relatable at some level. It was actually somewhat relatable. Now you did it. Now you became the.
But I need to go full boomer.
You went from gamer to boomer mode. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's the quickest way to exit the gamer mode.
There's
It's
that.
completely must go. Say name a random biome right now.
Caatinga.
Okay, there you go. Nobody
Why?
will understand you.
That's a Brazilian biome. Represent.
Representing. Is there a name for it in English? Caatinga? It's Caatinga. It's
Yeah,
Caatinga,
because you know it's just semi-arid biome that just is basically the same but has different names on different continents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I don't know
our-
what the North American version is because not like full-on desert, right? It's like dry brush kind of situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just call it a desert, but
land, not Deadland.
Badlands.
Yeah, Badland's not a.
Oh, Badlands.
Badland. Badland.
I never knew what Badlands means. It's
Maybe it's got.
not a bad name for it because you know nobody wants to be in an arid place. Like there's whole genres of literature from Brazil that are from the northeast where it's that climate, and basically all of it is about suffering and wanting to exit, like wanting to go somewhere else and emigrate.
The Caatinga, you say? Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Like all the fucking every book from there is about how people suffer there on how they want to move somewhere else where the climate isn't terrible.
There's a region here in Brazil that has a really poor soil and
Is-
low rate of rain.
Yeah, and it's because it's kind of perpetual cycle of like your climate kind of sucks, so you never developed, so you're still an agricultural place. But the worst thing to do there is agriculture.
Yeah, exactly.
We should just
So-
pay them to like have solar panels and windmills near them, and then just give them a universal basic income.
Of course,
Probably pay for
heavily
itself.
addressed.
If you don't,
by-
if you don't let people, get sick and stuff, like it will kind of pay for itself.
Yeah.
And then they will, have an actual economy, because when you have money, you can do better stuff than just do agriculture in the worst place in the country to do agriculture.
There's a lot of like not that hard to figure out ways that Brazil could solve those problems that they don't even start addressing. So yeah.
Also, there's a lot of classist and racist reasons why people really don't want to help that region of the country and see them as like dependent, and only taking, not providing.
No, the most discriminated region of Brazil entirely. Together with North.
I think it was
Yeah.
worse. I
Like
think
the-
people don't think as much about the north. Like they forget there's people in the north.
Yeah, they burned the North. But
Yeah, but they do it for profit,
North is where
not for hate.
Amazon forest is.
Yeah. But they do it to make money, just not because they don't like the people.
They do ignore the existence of the indigenous people. Like not only in North, but in the North there are
Yeah.
big concentration.
Yeah, I was, kind of in a humorous
Oh, you were
way,
joking.
yeah, referring to the fact that I don't think bigots even think about
Yeah,
indigenous people as much. They kind of
I'm trying
don't
to joke
remember
around.
they exist.
I'm not trying to joke around at the same time as like explaining a bit the situation.
Yeah.
That was kind of my intent. Right. Yeah. That. It's. It angers
Yeah,
us a lot.
Yeah, you kind of have to joke about it to be like in
Yeah,
the stream. Otherwise, we're just going to be like upset. And
But they have a saying in Brazil that is laugh to not cry.
yeah. I imagine most languages have some form, some version of it.
the direct translation.
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
Yeah. Can
You
understand.
laugh so you don't cry.
Yeah, laugh so you don't cry.
Something like that.
That's what you do.
Ooh, I actually have to start thinking about like closing the stream to eat later and stuff, and to actually be kind of productive later, because I'm having fun. I hope you like join again, and other people who I gave the back door to, because I don't know, this is fun. But I was getting distracted a lot. Also, I need to learn to focus. Like in the beginning, I learned to focus while talking to chat. Now I have to learn to focus while talking to live people,
Yeah, it's different.
because now two kind of things to juggle. But yeah, I'm going to start looking for someone to raid. I don't know if you're going to still want to be like around, like still want to have Twitch playing and like see whoever I raid, because I just have to do my post. I'm going to post the Captain Falcon. Oh, we're just going to raid Orlek. Orlek was in chat earlier and now he's streaming. So let's just. Oh, and he's drawing Pit from Kitty Curse / Smash Bros. So / raid Orlek. Did it work? Yes. Okay. So thank you all so much for dropping by and keeping company and chatting. This was fun. See you guys next time. We are going over to Orlac there. Just say hi. And yeah, see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.